mean, technically, past midnight is indeed a morning, but in my specific case, it is quite literally 10 a.m. So I would count that as morning. So wherever you guys are, you seem to be in the same zone, but no, for me it's 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. That's morning. And even if it wasn't, I would still say good morning. I don't care. I say good morning at 2 p.m. lately. Yesterday, I was in bed until almost 2 p.m. Yeah, I was awake, but you know, I didn't get up. I was like, I'm not, I don't want to go anywhere. The genre other than woman is this one has quite a few harsher themes, so keep those warnings up there in mind. We have seen a little bit of blood. Nothing outright where I'm like, okay, but take care. They do mean those warnings very seriously. We are like middle towards the middle age of chapter 1, so like we're nowhere yet. This is indeed a game about women kissing. I hope. I like. Yeah. I sure hope they do kiss at some point. Yeah. It's also a pretty tragic game. Toxic, You're Delicious. I'm not sure if our main characters specifically are toxic. We'll have to see. But what's happened so far is magic is a thing in this world where it's just like, okay, some people are just mages, some people can innately use magic. Our main character cannot innately use magic, but she has bought a book, an Italian book, that shows her how to use her own blood to imitate magic, pretty strong magic from what we've seen, and she is able to go to a specific cut off past where our other character here, sorry, let me see, can you see my cursor? Yeah. Where she is stuck, like she's stuck in time. She is a mage who can use it innately, and she keeps visiting her. They're holding hands. Yeah. You want to get some sleep? Okay, absolutely, get some rest. But still, thank you for coming by. Problematic is the vibe right now. That's fair. But yeah, she's stuck in the past. Like from what we've heard, it's like she's stuck somewhere. Like all of the other people in there as well. It's like a town that got kind of cut out from the rest of the world, and they're just stuck there. And the magic we're using, we can go to that specific place. I cannot tell you why we're going that space specifically, or more like, I know why we're going there now because we met her and stuff, but I don't know how it came to be that this is the exact place we can get to. Also because she is using her own blood time and time again. It's not a very healthy thing. She's not really giving her body a chance to regenerate that blood before she's using it again. So from what I've seen though, we haven't even reached like the big thing. Like everyone else that I've seen play this game or talk about the game, they were like, oh, okay, so we're going there. I'm like, where are we going? Yeah, we're in chapter 5, I think. Not chapter 5, like part 5. That's where we start. The Magic Italian book makes you do special things like pasta using blood. Yeah. I don't think that's exactly how it works, but yeah. You know what? Sure. Also, I just hope I do have a washing machine going, so I'm just hoping, because it's starting to make a bunch of loud noises. I'm just hoping it's not gonna show up on stream. Oopsie. I haven't touched this controller in like a week, and now there's... Yeah. Okay, there we go. What did I do? What button did I press? Nope. Nope. That's unfortunate. You know what? What if I just reload this? Yeah, that's fine. This is what I get for pressing random buttons on my controller. This game has full controller support. If you know the buttons. It's your favorite part where I just do dumb shit? Anyway. Another Friday's lectures might be over, but the work of study and translation continues. While other students around me talk of get-togethers and partying, I slave over the book before me while they drink the night away. Ooh, a little... I'm not like other girls thing. No. I mean, we do know. Not that I feel put out at all. Partying and such always felt like such an odd affair. I was dragged along to one or two when I started university, only to feel like a fish out of water. I never even drank until Yeso offered. Except for the bang doing dumb shit, I try my best. The company of books never did me wrong, which is more than can be said of people. Fair. Another sentence is entered into the laptop to my left, a centuries-old original to my right. The amusing juxtaposition of the old world of magic with the high technology of these times doesn't go amiss. One small blessing has been Isabella's immaculate handwriting, obvious care having been taken in recording her work. My own handwriting is terrible, with years of typing making me unused to penmanship. I suppose most editors are the same these days. Unfortunately, my efforts tonight are unlikely to be any use at all. The file containing today's translation notes soon proved to be focused on rather esoteric observations around blood magic. Rather than being outright required, the magical circles and glyphs I've been using are more to guide how one thinks. Practically speaking, they're like training wheels. Blood could perhaps be directly manipulated without any such guides with enough practice. Just more useless knowledge, and I'll need far more practice to manage without them in any case. All I can do is sigh in frustration, the day's work amounting to another waste of time. It's never a waste of time if you learn something. That's not true, don't say that. Yet I can't afford to stop trying. The moment I do, everything will catch up to me. Deciding on my own experimentation, I look over to my phone laying to the side. Oh, the knife beside it glints in the moonlight. Oh no. Well, okay. Yesu and I stroll along the gravel streets of downtown Sapporo, the smells and sounds of the period drifting in the air. Looking to Yesu beside me, she happily rolls a candy about in her mouth. After seeing how quickly she took the chocolate, I made sure to bring a few assorted candies along whenever I visit. It lifts my spirits to see her so easily pleased. Printing presses clatter inside a building as we pass, newspapers busily being inked for the coming day. Even here, people want to be in the know. We briefly stopped to allow a rickshaw to pass before us, the sprightly young man giving a brief nod before ferrying two gossiping women down the road. Yesu patiently waits before continuing, clearly having no intention of hurrying himself. Why would she, when she has all the time in the world? If only I had that sort of time, I might be able to help her. Just a little more and I should be able to... I don't want to raise her hopes without knowing for sure that I have a way to save her, so I quickly lurch toward another thing on my mind.
通りの配置は私の世界と同じなのに全然違う街みたい。今の札幌はどんな風なの？まずもっと人が多くてどこに行っても人の声や車があちこちで曲がる音が聞こえる。幹線道路には馬じゃなくて電気で動く路面電車が走ってる。それから線路があって電車がガタガタと音を立てて走ってる。木造の店は全部ガラス張りで現代の西洋風のものばかり。朝から夜遅くまで営業しててみんながみんな新しいものを買おうとしてる。この時代の遊郭は他の店に変わってるだろうけどとにかく賑わってるよ。
I mean, they would use the word rickshaw here for sure, because this is in the past, but also, like, even the modern rickshaw runners that I see, we do use the word rickshaw, yeah. And the windshield wipers, wow.
街は 事務所ばかり入ったコンクリートって素材の高い建物と、アスファルトっていう黒い素材で塗り固められた道路に覆われて、灰色一色でね。
Hell
新
yeah.
年のお祝いの時期だけ木に電球を巻きつけて飾ってる。
Some good old woo.
って説明で伝わるといいけど。
It fucks me up that it's a W in English. Why do you say W? It looks more like a double V. For all that I can. Also, it is a V in German, so I'm always like V. Wait, W-L-W. Okay. Whatever.
嬉しいわ。札幌は現代でも賑やかなのね。
I'm
ガ
kissing.
ラス張りの建物だなんて想像もつかないわね。
Oh no, it just trips me up whenever I try to read it out loud. It's a wind. That's a windshield wiper. the windshield. What? Windshield? Shield. Where? Right here first, folks.
今の建物はもっと高くて、確か一番高いビルで地上40階だったと思う。
Java says doesn't exist. Well, it doesn't exist in English specifically. It's a good letter. Shelf this one. When people who don't have this tend to think it's a B. It is not a B. It's a sharp S, basically.
魔術師をすごいと言うけれど、時の流れとともにこんなに変わるものなのね。実は大学の司書さんに連れて行ってもらった店が、この前安江に連れて行ってもらった居酒屋だったの。
I like how they go on their little dates and they're cute together. It's like, oh, everything's gonna go really, really wrong at some point, I'm assuming. I don't know. Her face lights up, her light-footed strides practically turning to prancing.
つまり現代でも続いている店があるのね。嬉しいわ。この時代のものがどれだけ残っているのかずっと気になっていたの。
Yes, we are currently in the past with her, actually. We can visit. She's stuck. Everyone else there is stuck as well. We can visit now. I guess we all want to leave some kind of mark, however small it might be. Some sense of purpose beyond this. Yes, there's a kabuki in love with Sapporo, but I wonder what that truly is for me. A third party interrupts our conversation, my stomach growling. Yes, he looks to me questioningly, but I don't have any good answer for it.
夕飯をまだ食べてなくて。
Struling asked me to write. What is that? Sure? Sure? Phonetically, it's just an S. Like, there's not much of a difference. It just depends on the word you have it in. Like, yeah, Straße, street. So it's just an S. Or football here would be Fußball. Like, because foot is Fuß. There was also this big change. Like, depending on how old the person you're asking is, they would write something like Fußball with a double S, and then there was this really, really big change where a bunch of words got changed to not have the double S spelling anymore, instead using the sharp S. Almost, but it's like this. Fußball. If I had any better idea on how to explain the German language, I think streams about it would be fun, but it's just like, yeah, I speak it. I don't know why it works the way it does, though. I'm zwei auf der Woman-Kissing-Straße. The small Nua took a turn at the woman kissing street. Made a turn? Made a turn. Took a turn. we're fully on a woman kissing streak. All day, every day. I mumble the words, feeling like a school kid caught up by their teacher. Trying to research blood magic while also dealing with university hasn't been easy. Fair. Very fair. Once Yasu sets her mind to something, she refuses to hear otherwise. I still can't decide if it's stubborn nature is endearing or not. The question is just, you know, she didn't stay drunk the last time, so does it actually help if she's going to eat anything in here or not? Letting myself pulled out to her favorite place once more, my hands fiddle in my lap out of restlessness as a waiter places our food before us. While the others here treat me nicely enough, I'm glad for Yasu I haven't taken the other thing. MC is in the past. Here. The one with the glasses is our main character. Taking up my chopsticks and beginning under me with a hearty bundle of noodles, I realize how ravenous I am. Food here may not have the most variety, but it's wonderfully good compared to the convenience store food I've been living on. My glass is full up from the steaming broth, but I can't stop myself slurping up one mouthful after another. Is that not how you say ravenous? Clark, more woman kissing, please. Where is that store? Share the location? Ravenous? So it has nothing to do with the raven? I should have seen that coming. Like the reason scene of kissing. Oh, okay. Only after a few minutes do I realize that I'm being stared at. I gingerly glance upwards to Yasu, his expression of amusement throwing me off guard. I must have let my hunger show.
ごめん、つい。いいの。そのまま食べてちょうだい。気に入ってくれたのなら嬉しいわ。
It is nice watching someone eat. When it's actually like when it tastes good and they're enjoying it. It is nice. Two feet included in the story, but two. But without the ability to see.
それにしてもちゃんと食べてる？
So true.
この世界に来るたびに食べ物に夢中になっているようだけれど。
You know how MLM can also stand for, you know, aside from man-loving man. For me, it's always man-loving man, but also like multi-level marketing. It's like, okay, so WLW is like, yeah, the women, all of that stuff we're coming up with. And you're washing your dishes and a washer goes poof. I don't have a dishwasher. Don't remind me. There's dishes in the sink right now that are staring at me. I'm like, no. 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 The cats go nyam. Nyam. They love you.
もちろん食べてるよ。
No, we don't do the but we're both girls. No, no, no. I know. Woman loses washing machine. Her expression only clouds further. I was never good at lying, much less when I feel bad for doing so. It's okay, you can do it. I had to actually give you permission to post that. Crazy.
大学の課題や魔法の研究でいろいろおざなりになってることもあるけど、大丈夫。何とかやってるから。
You're doing fine. I'm not sure I believe that.
自分のことを第一に考えてと言ったでしょ。この世界に来るだけでも大変なのよ。これ以上自分を追い込まないで。
Already kills me when people are like, oh, when were you born? Oh, 19 or 19? Yeah. Yeah. I still have trouble realizing that people born after 2000 are adults. I know I'm not even that far off it. Like, I am a 90s child, but like barely. But still, I was raised with that kind of mindset. So whenever someone is like, oh, I was born in 2006, I'm like, you mean you're an adult? No, you're not. I'm sorry. It's like, it's ingrained in my brain. It's really hard to like not. Like, obviously it makes sense. Physics is where they're like, no, it's just like, because when someone tells me they're born in 19 something, I already know, like, okay, yeah, sure, you're an adult, whatever. Because I don't actually have to do the math. But when someone tells me, oh, I'm born 2008, I'm like, wait, what year is it right now? You're in your 20s? Yeah, sure. Climate change, they might not be real. They might not. No. 2006 was 4 years ago. Yeah, you get me. 2060 kids are babies. No, because I technically count as Gen Z already. I think the cutoff is what, 1996 or 1998? Whichever one it is, I technically count as Gen Z, but like from how I was raised, still I'm like, no. Like, I feel like there's a difference between like kids born after 2002 and like the few years before still, because it's like, no, I still work, like I still grew up with without a phone, without tablets. Like, the most you had was like a family computer in the corner of the living room, and like the family TV, which had the three things you could watch basically. So whenever someone's like, oh, you're Gen Z, I'm like, no. A glass card, you're 2032. Like not to get too real, but whenever someone is like, oh, what are you gonna do with your future when you're old, I'm just like, I mean, not in a suicidal way. I'm so sorry, not in a suicidal way, but in a, when I'm old, what do you mean? Like, oh, what are you gonna do with your job and savings? I'm like, savings? With what job? For what life when I'm old? Like, oh, when are you gonna get a house? What house? Like, I'm glad I have an apartment right now. I have a roommate that has enough money for both of us, because I literally don't have an income right now. Oh my god, Sammy, no. Hi, Raiders. Hi. Hello, we're having existential crises. Lesbians, yeah. The game I love playing as a teen that's vintage. Oof, don't say that. Don't say that. Hi! We were talking about being old and woman kissing. Yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. Hi! We're totally fun and not depressed, unless you like. But hi, I'm new. I like the color pink, vision novels and JRPGs. We are currently playing a Tithe in Blood, which is Studio Elan's newest visual novel, newest woman kissing visual novel, which came out last week. We are not too far into it. Also, I keep going off tangent. Thank you so much for the neon binary. Oh, did you win a 40? You're like, I know I will die soon. No, don't say that. No, but like for real, it's like, oh, what are you gonna do when you're older? Oh my god. I don't know. Hopefully still be alive. Hopefully the sun will not have burnt out our planet. Hopefully will not have absolutely like destroyed it even more. I don't know. I live every day as it comes, because I don't know for how much longer that's gonna be possible. There it is. That's a hi, Hadu. Thank you. I hope you had fun With Raid, what's Mind's Eye? Like, I saw you were alive, but like, what is that? Also, quick. I keep going all over the place. A Tithe in Blood is Studio Elan's newest Yuri visual novel. This one has a bunch of content warnings. I have them pinned up there. Please take care. Because there is blood. We haven't had much worse yet, but there is blood. Lots of blood. So take them seriously. One of my most charming qualities is when I lose track of what I was saying. Blood, yeah, blood. We're using blood magic. Magic exists in this world. Magic exists, and there's people who are innately mages. We're not innately a mage, so we're using blood magic. We're using our own blood. A little too much of our own blood to go to the past to visit our maybe, hopefully, sometime girlfriend here. Not yet. They're not dating yet. They're so cutie patootie. It's like the worst game of the year. Oh no. Like, for real? God forbid a woman is hobbies. God forbid! Oh no, this... Oh, it made you gag! Jesus. Okay, I know what I'm gonna catch up on. Pricking myself a magic to go back in time called a blood on the clock tower. Well, if it was only a prick of blood, sure, but we're like... draining. Let's see how bad it is. And first it was fun bad, then became awful, but you're committed to... Well, did you beat it? Or do you still have to keep going? God forbid a woman has hobbies. I support women's rights and I support women's wrong. Is blood on the clock tower an entry in the clock tower series? Because you went for 9 hours, you're crazy. Well, welcome to really good writing with women kissing. They haven't kissed yet. They do hold hands on the main screen though, so hopefully. Because the credits, the writing team was like not even 5% of the entire credit. What? Holding hands, yeah! Wait, hold on. I can wait. I show you. Okay, we're gonna interrupt your regular. Hold on, Jesus. We interrupt your regularly scheduled Yuri to show you hand holding. Yeah, hold on the main screen. Yeah. That's one. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought Blood and Clock Tower had something to do with the Clock Tower game, so I was like, huh? Let's go from dog shit to beautiful Western. Yeah. Hand holding. Yeah. It is so good. It is so good. This one also has Japanese voice acting for all of the characters, which is a first for the Elan games. So please. It's also linked up there. Go on the Steam store. Wait, it's also on itch. If anyone, wait, I'll show you. I'll send you the itch link as well. Hold on. But like, if you like Yuri, if you like girls kissing, if you like what you're seeing right now, you can get a Tithe in Blood right now on either Steam, which I have linked up there next to the content warnings, or on itch.io right now. It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month. You should buy girl gay games. Yeah, I know how to talk. Get it now. Sacrificing a man to save my shit. Women in STEM. I can't talk. Gloveless bare hands. Yup. The girl pregnante. No. They're very gay. They're also currently the scene we were at. We're actually in an izakaya trying to get some food. Because while we're doing a lot of blood magic and blood research, or magic research, that makes more sense, we're not really taking care of ourselves that much. So she's like, food, now! Girl kissing? Girl kissing on the brain. Girl kissing on the brain. Let's see. Let's actually get going then. Let's actually get any closer to girl kissing. Well, the noodles are wonderful as always from this place. I give a frustrated sigh.
やっぱり何か問題があるんでしょ。丼から昇る湯気でメガネが曇るの。
Spaghetti. Oh, that's a really cute rainbow. You shall look. Okay, thank you so much for the raid. Get some good food. Should also get some food sometime. Yeah. She gives a snort of amusement at my mundane predicament. Even after wearing them for practically my entire life, glasses can still be a real pain. Big mood. You know what? I need to screenshot that. That's very true. Hi, Akira. Good morning. To my surprise, Yasa reaches forwards and gently takes my glasses in her outstretched fingers, putting them on herself afterwards with a childish smile. She looks good with glasses.
これで一つ問題解決ね。
Without a Voice is by the same people, actually. Without a Voice is also by Studio Elan. But yeah, true. That got a recent update and console release. Yeah, same studio. Same studio. Different main artist behind it. But I think Without a no, because I think Without a Voice was completely. No, I need to look it up. Hold on. Never mind. We're not gonna get anywhere. Hold on. Without a Voice was completely illustrated by Adi. Adi Rosa. But Adi has also worked on this game as well. But like not as a main artist. But yeah, it's the same studio. It's the same studio. One singular Pikachu, sure. I literally just earlier today turned it on again. Yeah, it looks familiar. Yeah. To be fair, it is the same studio working behind it. They do learn from their games, and then they've made a bunch of really cool stuff with the UI for this one already. It is. So you have already played Peak. Here's another Peak game. Every Studio Land game is Peak. Everything you're looking at. Shh. I don't want to say something wrong by accident. But I know Ari has worked on stuff for this one as well. But you Pikachu before I forget. Hold on.
Pikachu. Pikachu. Pikachu.
I know everything. The question is just if it's right or not.
やっぱりほのかはメガネがあってもなくても可愛いわ。
I wish I could say the same, but I assume Honoka can't actually see anything depending on how strong these glasses actually are. They are prescription, right? I'm left silent as I'm unable to work out how to reply, though my scarlet cheeks provide an answer for me. I say my glasses suit her better than I. Oh! Yeah, but to see if there's been any changes. That is a question I cannot actually tell you the answer to. Because I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure, we have the console release, but I can't tell you much more because I will say I didn't actually look at it in more detail. That's on me. Could have told you. No. I will scroll. I will find it out. I will look it up for you. Hold on. Ah! No, everything is about the Tithe Blood release. That's okay. How bad is your sight? I have minus 6.75 plus like another diopter for fuck. I don't know what that is called. Well, I'm at minus 7 something. That's why you got your eyes fixed. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I've heard so many horror stories. Like, I'm glad if it worked for you to get surgery or whatever, but I'm not gonna get anything done. Yeah. Like, to be fair, I've had one grandma who was like, oh yeah, everything is fine now, but on the other hand, she also had dementia, and I'm like, she didn't ever tell anyone that she got kind of hard of hearing either, or wouldn't wear her hearing aids, so I don't trust her when she says her eyes were better after. And I have one grandma who did get it done, and it was good for like 2 weeks, and now she has a bunch of trouble again. Also, I cannot get them like fully fixed anyway. Like, I still have to wear glasses anyway, so I'm like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I don't mind wearing glasses. Obviously, sometimes it's like, it would be nice to be able to see without them, but it's okay. Also, a 10 doesn't necessarily mean blind. If we're gonna get technical, the whole legally blind thingy can mean a lot of different things. Legally blind is most of the time, in the most basic sense, it's like when even with glasses, it's not feasible anymore to make a difference, so you can live with it. Like, imagine it would be like, even you'd have to have like glasses that weigh like a fucking kilogram because the actual lenses would need to be so fucking thick that like that's not feasible anymore. To make, that's kind of where the line is drawn most of the time. So I'm okay. I'm super okay. Like, obviously it's bad, as in I cannot live without them. I cannot drive because I can see like maybe 15 to 20 centimeters, and after that it's all blurry. It's okay, I can live with glasses, that's fine. Let me consult the archives. Listen, I don't wanna say anything wrong. You're gonna get it too. You get in Korea though, they're very special. True. I mean, I guess sometimes it's literally just about going to the right specialists where they actually do proper research and are more interested in actually bettering your life. A lot of times here, it's like, oh, you want to get laser treatment for your eyes? Okay, because it's like, it's such an invasive thingy. Like, there's so much that can go wrong, and like, no, I don't want to. You can still hear in the other ear, yeah. But it's like, if you can only hear in one ear, it's like, it's not a black or white thing. It's like when people go, oh my god, someone is blind, it's like, it's not like they can't see at all. It's not like the eyes don't work at all. There's many, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. It's like, yeah, this person can, like, still has eyesight, but like everything is so blurry. It's all just a bunch of smudge. Like, obviously, that's not a way to see. It's the same way you wouldn't tell someone who's missing like a leg that they're not disabled. Like, yeah, but you still have one working leg. Yeah, okay, so, or it's like, no, well, I guess it makes more sense if it's one leg that's paralyzed. Like, okay, you still have two legs. Yeah, but one of them doesn't work. I feel like I'm over-explaining myself. I feel like you all got what I wanted to say anyway. Don't mind me. You can't read my keyboard without my glasses. I went out recently. I was like, I'm with a friend. I was like, you know what? I want to wear sunglasses. I have really cute pink sunglasses without prescription though, so I can't see. I was like, I want to go out. You have to read everything for me. It's fine. I managed to go for like 2 hours, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to see. I don't care about the fashion aspect anymore. I need to be able to see. This is horrible. Deep eye examination. Yeah. A hole in your... How did I fix that? Also, yeah, like, yeah, it's a lot of things are a spectrum, actually, if you go into them a little more. You finally put on your contacts. I tried contacts one time. Never again, because it ended up with the doctor having to try and pull it out of my eye for 30 minutes. My eyes were so red. Never again. That's not for me. Riding bikes in a row. Oh no. Good luck with the interview, though. I wish I would get invited to interviews. I literally yesterday I got another no for an interview I went to in March. No, April. Sorry, April. Wow. Okay. I mean, I kind of expected it after not hearing anything for 2 months. 3. April, May, June. Yeah. Make money. Make monies. I'm a glasses wearer, I'm proud of it, I don't mind it. I have very pretty glasses. I like them a lot. But sometimes it is, obviously, it does get on your nerves. It's like, oh, you get up, you go about your day, and you can just see? What do you mean? I wake up and everything is as blurry as I remember it being. If you're telling me the job position has been filled, please. It's so bad. So bad. The whole anxiety about actually showing up to an interview and then thinking you fucked it up, or thinking you actually did well, only to like have them ghost you or not hear anything for months, where it's like, yeah, sure. Let's go back to the Yuri. We're getting too real today. Let's go back to the Yuri. Yeah, I'm gonna start crying. My thoughts again turn inwards as she looks around a little to get a feel for the prescription. They are prescription glasses. Good! Despite all of my research into my own paltry blood magic, Yes's true magic still confounds me. Conjuring apparitions to enact a play, an entire cast's work, is nothing short of amazing. I'm surprised nobody talks about her performances in the real world despite my looking. Thank you! I'm trying. We'll get there. If mages can do such wondrous things, then perhaps they could also... Wait! No, I can't think about that. Every time I've caught myself reaching toward that vein hole, I quickly bat my hand away. Were it possible, I'm sure I would have heard about it by now. It's the last topic I want to talk about, but I'm surrounded by strangers as well. Ah. Yeah, I guess the whole topic of can you revive people is gonna come. I'm guessing it's gonna be a no.
ほのか あ、何？
She sighs in response to my zoning out, soon taking off the glasses and replacing them on my head.
無理に心を開いてというつもりはないけれど、こうも足並みが揃わないと少し腹が立つわね。
Okay, get some rest. Yeah, absolutely. Get some sleep. Thank you so much for coming by.
この世界のことは何でも知っているけれど、私の不思議な訪問者さんのことはまだ何も知らないの。心配してるっていうより、気になって仕方ないみたいだけど。両方ではダメかしら?
I give a dreary look at her non-answer, to which she only giggles. I want her to think badly of her for it, but her total honesty makes that hard. She thinks a little before coming to her feet, turning and beckoning for me to follow. Left a little bemused by her sudden decision, I quickly get up and leave our half-eaten bowls on the table. Wait, what about paying, you guys? Okay. Yasu's ability to see right through me astounds once again. She knew I wouldn't open up around others, and so brought me here for privacy.
私のことをもう少し知りたいなら、実は最近血の魔法でできること、できないことを検証してみたの。安江はいろんなものを具現化できるんでしょ?
She gives the matter some serious thought, mulling over how best to explain these kinds of things to a common person.
私が使うような召喚の術は普通の人にはできないと思うの。魔術は内側から発せられるものよ。つまり体内にあるものを元にした魔術を実現するのは簡単なの。だからほとんどの魔術師は自分の体のいろんな部位に少しずつ手を加えて、その大抵の魔術師も体のすぐ外側の世界に手出しできるけれど、もっと難しくなるわ。私たちは身を守るために一生を費やして一つの武器を作る鍛錬を積み、反射の域でその武器を具現化できるようにするの。ああ、それが安江のセンスなの？そう、あれは私の武器よ。それ以上のものを変えるのは難しすぎて、できる魔術師はほとんどいないわ。だから私のような魔術を広範囲に展開できる者には特別な才能があると言われているの。体外に効果を及ぼす特定の魔術。それが私の場合は具現化というわけね。
From what we've seen.
ほとんどの魔術師が武器を。じゃあ私にもできるかな?
The face lights up at the idea, only to quickly turn about and start frolicking around the ground near some trees. The fuck kind of word is that? Frolicking. Sorry. Every time I play a Studio LAN game, I'm like, that sure is a word I've never heard before in my life. Yeah. Oh. Where would you use that? Okay. Cool. I learned a new word. Yay!
やってみせましょうか。何か使えそうなものは。そうね。これがいいわ。
She rights herself and skips over, a sight never quite natural in her otherwise formal kimono. She hands me what looks like a regular branch, long and spindly with a fork at the very end.
私にわかるかな? 若い魔術師が自分の武器を具現化する訓練を始めるときはね、こういう道具を使って思考を導くの。血の魔法ではどう作用するのかはわからないけれど、役に立つかもしれないでしょ?
Her logic does make sense. With Yasuo wholeheartedly throwing herself at this experiment, there's no going back now. Holding a stick in one hand, I roll up my sleeve with the other and undo the lowest of the bandages. I don't have a knife with me, but my fingernails have grown a bit longer than usual, so it should do the job for something like, "Ooh, girl." I don't know what to say. Yesa's face is graven, but she holds her tongue as I press my nail into the already scarred skin of my forearm. My own yelp of pain only barely suppresses it drag it across. This isn't as bad as when I use the knife, but it's hardly a pleasant feeling regardless. Well, duh! A trickle of blood flows down my wrist and hand, the stick now stained a deep red as the wine-dark liquid drips over it.
さあ、形にしたい武器をできるだけ細かいところまで思い描いてみて。絵画のような平面ではダメよ。物体として想像するの。その棒があなたの思考を導いてくれるはずよ。
I close my eyes and do as she says, doing my best to bury the pain emanating from my arm. Something to defend myself with, a handle long enough to wield with both hands. Visions of old manuscripts I've read for university flick through my mind as I try to focus on a single one. One I read a few days ago lingers just a little longer than the others, an image of a farmer doing the backbreaking work of harvesting his crops. Ooh, you want to start with the scythe? Scythe. The large blade fits at the top a long handle which curves and twists about. The warm blood now flowing over my hand feels like it has a direction to it, a momentum, moving about and solidifying in my grip. The handle feels heavy in my hands, one end weighing far more than the others. I don't think that's an easy one to start with, but if it were a stick, then how? As I open my eyes, the first thing I see is Yese. As talkative as Yese's always been, the woman for once stands speechless as she stares not at me, but at my hands. I'm just as dumbstruck as she is looking down. Where a simple stick once was, a scythe, albeit crude and unwieldy, now rests in my hands. Blood from my wound still trails from the cut I'd made directly to the handle, an unsettling sight only making it too clear what the scythe truly is. For first try, that's really good. Oh, okay. As I raise a hand to try moving the weapon, the crystallized blood at once turns back to liquid, leaving my hands groping at air as it falls to the ground in an appalling, formless mass. Show now over, Yesa runs a hand over her face to try and recompose herself as I disappointedly re-rub my bandages. Sharp stinging as material covers my fresh wound is painful, but nothing I can hide from Yesa. See, that's the thing though. If you're still actively bleeding, I don't think you're supposed to put the bandage straight on. You need to put something in between that actually can, like, catch the blood and not the bandage itself. But what the hell do I know? I'm so unused to failure that I don't know how to process this. The brief flick of hope that I might have the same powers as a real mage was taken away all too quickly. What good is making a weapon if I can't use it? It's like the bandage is just gonna soak up all the blood and like straight up go into the open wound. Horrible, horrible. One time I skipped my leg, my knee, and like at school, and I don't know, whatever teacher that was that helped me bandage it up definitely took the wrong kind of thing. Like some kind of like square patch they put on, which was all nice and well in the moment. When I tried to take it off, I had to pluck out every single fiber from my knee because it like got sucked in. Cannot recommend. Not an experience I would wish on anyone. Like, granted, obviously that was when I was a child, like in elementary school. I do not. No, I have skimped my legs as an adult as well. But like, you need to put something in between it that's not going to get stuck in the wound. She tries to put a positive spin on it all, but I can tell she's unnerved by the whole process. I don't blame her. Aww. Dear.
魔術のこと少し知りたかっただけなの。本物の野生が使うような魔術のこと。でも聞いてばっかりで迷惑かな。前にも言ったでしょ。好奇心を持つのはいいことよ。喜んで答えるわ。
My throat tightens, but I force myself to say the words. She's wrong that I'm asking out of curiosity. It's simple closure that I want.
魔術で死んだ人を生き返らせることはできるの？
I vote no. I say no. Yeah. I immediately regret asking as her face collapses. Of course, she was going to connect the dots from something like that. That said, she hardly looks surprised as she slowly shakes her head.
死んだ人を生き返らせた魔術師は今までに一人もいなかった。
Yeah.
ほのかにははっきり言っておくべきでしょうね。
Expected.
魂、アニマ、生命力。呼び方は様々だけれど、どれも肉体から独立して存在しているようなの。理論的には、精神を別の器に移すことは可能かもしれないけれど、実践した例はないわ。ごめんなさいね。
I give a silent nod, knowing Yes's answer was the only one possible. As she opens her mouth, I already know what she'll say.
ご両親のことでしょ。知ってたんだ。ほのかは隠し事が得意じゃないもの。
Basically, yeah. I absentmindedly looked to the ground, the next words unexpectedly spilling out from my mouth as if the dam were breaking.
あの時、世界が真っ暗闇に包まれたみたいだった。一瞬にして私の世界は変わってしまった。それでも夜は明けた。
Time doesn't stop, that's the worst part.
それが不思議で仕方なかった。時間は流れ、大人は仕事に行き、子供は学校に通い、鳥はさえずり、電車は音を立てて走ってる。他の人たちの時間は変わらずに流れてる。私の時間は止まってしまったのに。それからずっと現実感のない夢の中で生きてるみたい。母さんと父さんがいないのに世界は動き続けてるなんて間違ってる気がした。ごめん、まとまらない話で。今までこんなこと打ち明けられる人がいなくて。そんな話してくれて嬉しいわ。いろいろ気を使わせてごめんなさい。大切なものを失ったのは安江も同じなのに。失って成長できればいいけれど、なかなかダメね。私ったらほのかを元気づけてあげたくて連れ出したのに、いざとなれば何を言えばいいのかわからないなんて。ねえ、安江のこと聞いてもいいかな。
She thinks for a moment, the hesitation in opening up clear. I don't mind at all, given how difficult the topic must be for her.
ある日突然、私の知っていた人が皆いなくなったの。それに知っていたものすべても。声が枯れるまで叫び、涙が出なくなるまで泣いたわ。その状態が永遠に続く運命だと気づいたとき、心が壊れそうだった。唯一の慰めは、たとえわずかでも愛する人たちの記憶の中で生きていけること、それだけだった。こんなこと言っても慰めにならないのは分かってる。でも他の人たちも囚われてるし、みんないい人みたいじゃない。悪い人たちじゃないのは確かよ。でも私の知っていた人たちではないの。
Wait, so she's the only one stuck here and everyone else is like some kind of apparition that was made to join her in here? She hesitates before continuing, taking a sigh to recollect herself.
潮は引いてもまた満ちてくる。悲しみが消えるといいのだけれど、決して消えはしない。 波が小さくなるだけ。ほのかはそろそろ息を吸うことを覚えた方がいいのかもしれないわね。
Oh yeah. Am I glad that I am in a position where I can play this game right now without it hitting me? Because absolutely not. I think if I was in a different mental state right now, this would not be.
少なくとも本物の世界には私が愛し、私を覚えてくれている人たちがいる。そう思うと少しだけ心が楽になるの。
Like games about grief or games that feature characters grieving, I'm always like, especially if they're well written, it's like, this is a well written game, but if I was in a different mental state right now, I couldn't do this. Thank you for that. I wonder if we're going to meet someone that we're gonna meet someone who actually does know her. It's awful that she was sealed away from those she loved, those she meets in the streets seeming as stretched to call. Wait. What? Those she meets in the streets seeming as stretched to call friends, kind acquaintances perhaps. There's a particular air about her, one I sensed the moment we met, an unspoken connection shared between people who are more alike than they wish to be, one which I've only now found the words for. Connection of past loss. Topic at an end, Yessa runs a hand through her hair. Its strange colored strands split between her fingers, the outside just another everyday happening for the people here.
みんな両親を失っても人生に向き合ってる私を大人だって言うけど、本当はまだ何も分かってないだけだと思う。
Gotta keep going. That's the thing. That's the worst part. The world. Why can I not talk? The world doesn't stop for you specifically, even if it feels like it.
それが大人だということよ。
And I hate when people say that to you because it's like, oh, you gotta keep going. It's like, at that point, like, you can be at your absolute lowest, like emotionally vulnerable, and then people are just like, oh, you just gotta stay strong. It's like, hey, not helpful. What the fuck?
子供の頃、親は何でも知っていると思っていたわ。10代になると自分は何でも知っていると思った。でもね、大人になって自分は何も知らないことに気づいたの。本当の知恵というのはね、誰もが実は何も分かっていないと理解することよ。
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I skipped something. Another Pikachu. We're talking about losing people dear to us, and you want the Pikachu? No, just kidding.
Pikachu. Pika. Pikachu.
Hi, Giffy. How are you? 1 second. My washing machine is done. Don't have time to put up the clothes yet. We'll have to soon though, so they don't rot in there.
それ、誰の言葉？私よ。
Ooh.
好きに使っていいわよ。でも、大学の論文には使えないかもしれないわね。それが大人になる上で一番辛いところよね。10代に入って初めて気づいた。不公平も人生の一部なのだと。時にはどうしようもないこともあると受け入れなくてはならないの。それでも挑むのは大事だと思う。
Absolutely. I like it. I am in awe of what they did with the UI. Like every time they move down the street when it looks like they're actually walking just by having the background move the way it does. And the sprites going up and down. It's such a fun thing. a lot of the UI work is especially crazy. It's like if you just move the sprites a little differently from just having them right next to each other. Earlier we had a scene that looked like it was an actual CG, and it's just the sprite work put on a good background. Everything else, like writing, is a banger. We're not too far into it yet. Artwork, obviously, the voice acting. Ilan never misses. And I'm not even saying this like, I'm saying this as a fan. I'm saying this as an actual fan and not just like objectively. It's just objectively a banger. I don't care. And not because I'm a bellflower. I'm saying this because I'm genuinely a fan.
ほのかのそういうところは好きよ。あなたにはうちに秘めた本心がある。
She simply giggles at my curious look. That's the last thing I'd say about myself. I'll have to return to the world outside soon. I was already terribly exhausted before arriving, and my tiredness is already weighing on me. When I do, all traces of the fullness I feel from our shared meal will vanish, just as my stupor did. Sad. Yet my memory of Yasuo will remain. So do you still need to eat in the real world or no? It's one thing if it, like, the feeling vanishes. Scene 6, an everlasting plague. Hours become days, days into weeks. My health keeps declining, each experiment leaving me increasingly frail. It's not only my body failing me these days. My university work is becoming sloppy, and lectures are more difficult than ever to get through. I can't concentrate at all anymore, making study and exercise in frustration. Girl! Because you're using your blood. Your body needs blood to function. Your brain needs blood to function. Also food. Most days are now largely spent asleep, between exhaustion from bloodletting and simple disinterest in being awake. I have no interest in dealing with the world I'm increasingly falling out of. Also, depression. Oh god. So, I found a solution. Uh-oh. A pigeon can be had for 1,000 yen. They contain about 90 milliliters of blood on average. Pigeons? $1,000 yen? No, no. My hand grips the hatchet tightly, knuckles whitening. Refusing to look away, I keep my eyes locked to the squirming bird held tightly to my desk. No. As if to rebel against this obscene action, my body begins to hyperventilate. I can't stop my hands shaking, only adding to the confused pigeon's distress. Its cooing briefly pierces through my adult thoughts. This is insanity. No reasonable person would do this to an animal. Realizing I'm talking myself out of it, I shake my head to try and refocus. This is necessary. I've come this far. I need to do this. If there were any other way, I'd take it. I've exhausted every other option. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little shout out in chat as soon as this is over. Oh no. For Yesu's sake, I have to. Did we not see it? Why? Why can't anything I do work out? You said I was smart. You said I could do whatever I set myself to. That's how it's always been before. So why won't this work? This is the one thing I've really wanted to. Why can't this go right?
母さん、父さん、私はただ支えてくれる人が欲しいだけなのに。
I assume from what she looks like, it didn't actually work. So I hope that's not going to come up ever again as an option. I'm not even a bird owner and I can't. Oh no, I don't. Doesn't really matter what animal it is. No, 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 I don't like that. Leaning against the wall of the grand kabuki venue for support, I patiently wait for Yesu's performance to end. Voices faintly murmur from inside, the actors bellowing in anger, adoration, violence, and sadness. A symphony of emotion, all directed by one woman. Oh my god. The thought of having to use my own blood is now becoming impossible to ignore, my heart once again beating wildly and my breathing ragged. First time this happened, I panicked and made it worse, but now it's something I can at least control. All I can do is remain calm, clutch my chest, and try to stabilize my breaths. I should see a doctor, but I know full well why this is happening. Trying to explain the scars too would be... Yeah, but maybe they could give you some blood, you know? You need to get blood in your system. What blood type are you? As long as you're not an O negative, I could give you everything you need. I am an O positive. I can give blood to anyone and everyone. Almost everyone. Thankfully, I managed to settle myself just in time for visitors to start leaving the theater. A handful stroll out silently, but most gossip and chatter away with friends and family. Then, eventually, an ashen-haired woman dressed in elegant yellow follows.
Ohayo, Yasue.
Girl, you look like death. She turns to me and smiles at first, but the corners of her mouth tuck downward at the sight of me.
Honoka, daijoubu nano?
No? No? Not really.
大丈夫。少し疲れただけだから。自分の顔を見たら、そんなこと言えないわよ。
For real. I shrink at her criticism, unused to her being so grave and in her tone. After all I did to come here, this is the welcome I received.
焦ることはないわ。私にはいくらでも時間があるのだもの。ね、ほのか。私は違う。
Backed up against the wall, quite literally in this case, I surprised myself for my stubbornness. She seems to take the hint, grimacing a little, but letting go of the call.
せめてもう一度ご馳走させてちょうだい。何か食べないと体が持たないわ。
But that's the thing! It doesn't actually help if she's gonna eat here, right?
そのことだけど。
A passing man leaving the venue congratulates Yesu, to which she responds out of firm necessity. For all her power, she insists on treating others well rather than indulging in her. I push myself from the wall and pull up beside her as she finishes talking to him, the two of us setting off despite her lingering now. It's like, kind of like eating in a dream. It's not going to fill you up in real life.
ここで初めて飲んだ時の酔いも、この前の食事の満腹感も、元の世界に戻ったら全く感じられなかったの。それでもしかしたらと思って、この前ここに来た時、元の世界の様子をスマホで動画撮ってみたの。この現象は移動じゃないみたい。スマホに映ってたのは3時間くらい私が床に倒れてる映像だった。そう。
I've been doing well in avoiding overly modern terms, but as she tries to wrap her head around the idea of recording a video with a phone, I see this may have been a step too far for Yesu's frame of reference.
つまり、ほのかの体そのものは移動していないということかしら。
I give a quick nod as we walk on, my thoughts feeling all the more firm as I give voice to them. Having someone to simply bounce ideas off is a welcome feeling.
魂と体は別物だって言ってたよね。ええ、あなたは魂だけがこの世界に転送されていて、
体は元の世界に残っていると言いたいのね。
それなら私の体が残っていた理由の説明がつくと思う。鏡が私に向けられて映った像は自由に動き回れるけれど本体はそのまま残ってると言えばいいのかな。
面白い発見だこと。知らないところで忙しくしているようね。
Seizing on her optimism, I decide to try and help settle her worries.
魔法の研究以外にも最近はちゃんと家事もしてるんだ。掃除に整理整頓、書類の片付けもね。家をきれいにしておくのって意外と達成感あるんだね。
It's nice. It's large for one person, too large, but the extra work in its upkeep was a blessing in disguise. My body does what it wants to these days, but the more I keep myself busy, the less time I have to ruminate. No! No, you're on a fast track to absolutely fucking kill yourself by overwork. Which is even less of the goal.
大丈夫。なんとかやってる。ただ、
Before the words even leave my mouth, my sense of balance suddenly goes wild, as if the world was suddenly rocking below my feet. Dizziness overwhelms me as I try to stay upright, my vision shifting about. Yasuo catches on just as her strength leaves my knees, collecting me in her arms as my body falls. Now wanting to appear weak, I reflexively take a step back from her. Far from helping the situation, I almost throw myself backwards in a heap before staggering and righting myself. Knowing any recovery is only fleeting, I stumble over to a bench at the side of the street and fall into it. Touching my head, I close my eyes to try and stop the rush of contradictory senses overwhelming me. Still nauseous, I slowly open my eyes once more. The day finally came, where my bloodletting finally got the better of me. Looking back to Yasuo, her look of worry and exasperation is everything.
ほのか、あなたはいつも。
Frustration nearly boils over, only controlling her outburst after noticing I'm in no mood to deal with it. For all I've tried, I still can't live up to my expectations for myself.
無理をしているのは分かっていたわ。お願いだからここに長くいようとしないで。あなたの世界にもあなたを必要としている人はいるでしょ。
いないよ、そんな人。友達はいないし、おじいちゃんもおばあちゃんも遠くに住んでる。
新しい司書さんと仲良くなったって言ってたじゃない。
シノさんのこと？うん、賑やかな人だよ。あんまりよく知らないけど、私とは考え方の違う人だと思う。
Oh, that's funny.
そういうこと？
Imagine a visual novel where, like a first-person visual novel like this right now, where it's like, you say yes, and that would be fun.
そう、それでもいいと思うわ。
Horror to code, probably.
ほのかはいつも一人ぼっちだと思わせるところがあるから、孤独に陥るのは簡単よ。
私は安江とは違う。安江はいろんな人に囲まれて生きてる。大勢の前で歌舞伎を披露して、知らない人とも気兼ねなく話せて、誰かといることで元気になれるんでしょ。私にはそれができない。人間関係が難しすぎるよ。
The words are a little more than a murmur as I look downwards. It's hard to open up to someone like this, especially after so long. I expected reassurances and light-hearted chatter replaced by an uncomfortable silence, only made them more pointed by the noise of those around us. I bashfully glance back up to Yasuo, but her expression is difficult to read. She looks very, 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 very beyond her years.
安江？
She heaves a great sigh, composing herself with a melancholic resolve.
ごめんなさいね、ほのか。 初めて会った時からあなたを騙していたの。それに私自身も。
With quiet determination, she takes one stride back after another into the center of the street. Busy as a thoroughfare may be, the people flitting about her hardly give so much as a glance as they maneuver around like fish in a river. My heart racing at how little heed she gives them, I come to my feet and step towards her. As my mouth opens to yell in warning, her eyes stop me. She looks so assured of what she's doing, yet I don't understand her at all. Eyes closed, people moving about the both of us. Wait. Is everyone her work? And it's literally just her? Then with an unnatural yellow glow, her eyes open wide with a start. For a moment, I'm lost as to what she's done. A second passes before the realization finally hits. Every last person around us has stopped. Confused by the surreal experience, my head flicks this way and that at the people who were passing us just moments ago. As if hitting pause on a video, not one human in this world moves a millimeter. Not one breath. Okay. No? No?
どうなっているの？
わからないかしら。
I was right! With this, a man beside her slowly disappears from head to toe, the now familiar yellow glow of her magic following his body as it vanishes. The actors on her stage disappeared just the same. I had the idea, but I was like, really? What was one becomes two who disappear, then three, four, and a multitude, all about us simply wiped from existence. All the while her tired eyes stare into mine. Terrible realization finally hits, my heart sinking. Every last person in the world beyond yesterday.
みんな本物じゃなかったのね。
That also explains the whole she's the only one here thingy. I was like, okay, it's the entire town. Nope, just her. Probably to have the illusion of being less lonely. In the distance, the old man walking alongside his horse-drawn tram stands frozen. He was one of the first I met upon finding his sea of world. Aww. Without ceremony nor drama, he simply vanishes. All that remains are myself and his woman before me, the only two who ever truly existed.
私がこの世界に封印された時、共に連れてこられた人はいなかった。あなたがここで出会った人は皆、私が魔術で生み出したもの。意志を持たず、じっくり見なければわからないほど、上手に偽装できているでしょ。
でもどうして？
狂わずに済むようによ。私は知人や友人の代わりとなる幻影を作り出した。やがて他人に囲まれて普通の生活を送っているという妄想に陥った。でも結局狂ってしまったよね。
Her voice is forlorn, almost pitiable. A woman whose very psyche has been reduced to nothing, admitting her sanity is based on no more than a lie told herself. The only company she's had in over 100 years is me.
一緒にいる人のいない永遠とも言える時が長すぎたのね。それだけのことよ。
The woman before me took every effort to comfort me when I was lost here. She's so kind and gentle to someone who offered her nothing in return. She can do such wondrous things, yet faces an eternity. My parents said I had the ability to achieve anything. My friends said I was clever. Everyone lavished praise on me, telling me I should go to university and become somewhat greater. All that praise, yes, was a better person than I could ever be. Why is she the one stuck here? Why was I the one to tease her with a fleeting glimpse of the outside world which she can never see?
そんなの不公平よ。野生は素晴らしい人なのに、こんなのあんまりよ。
人生で一番辛いのは時に 不公平を受け入れなくてはならないということなの。それはほのか。
She's gonna cry, right? Yeah. Tears streamed down my face at the life she's been forced to lead. The idea of an eternity alone, tormented by the same grief I felt many times over.
死の魔法を調べているけど、どうやってもうまくいかないの。解決手段を見つけたくて精一杯頑張っても、自分をどんなに傷つけても。
Everyone had such high expectations of me. I always achieved highly in my schoolwork and club activities. Everything felt easy if I thought a bit about it. There was one thing I could never bring myself to say. I just had to try harder and things were working. Yet the one time I want to do something for myself, to save her from this horrible fate.
できない。こんなの無理よ。安江を助けられない。私にはそんな力なんてない。
Welcome back! All the praise was a lie. I'm useless. Everything people had built me up to be was a lie. As soon as my parents left me and I had to stand on my own feet, I became a useless, ugly person. Yasuo doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve any of this. Aww. I feel her arms embrace me, her hand gently stroking my hair as I sob into her chest. I want to push her away, embarrassing my worthlessness, but I'm too pathetic to even manage that. Instead, I fall apart in the very arms of the woman I failed to save.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
I repeat the words over and over. All I can think is how sorry I am. Sorry that when I alone could help her, I failed. Yasuo doesn't speak as she holds me. What words could be useful in a time like this? Instead, I feel tears falling onto my hair. There are no comforting words to be had for either of us. Nothing can fix what we've lost. All we can share at this moment is our grief. No. Ooh. Ooh. Scene 7. This feeling called. That's so sad. Don't do that. The uncomfortably hard chair presses into my back as I turn another page. Orange-stained sunlight washing over the text inside. My routine is now setting back to normality, the waning hours of the day spent studying for coursework rather than other matters. Gina goes about her business as well, the quiet patter of books being filed onto shelves being all that's to be heard. Everyone else has long since gone home for the day or headed downtown with friends and lovers. It's been several days since the last meeting with Yasuo. The time I spent away from her feels so much longer these days. The Reiwa era feels little more than filler, with my true life being that in a major world with Yasuo. That strange surreal world that only we share. No. No, we're being sad about women who are holding hands. Never again. How are you doing? Well, hopefully sometime soon again, but I couldn't deny her heartfelt begging to stay away, so here I stay for now. There's reason to be thankful, no? I feel as though a certain weight's been lifted from my shoulders for the shared area of our grief. You're barking more nice. Enjoy. Before I know it, a sigh escapes my lips. How slow the time passes these days. My attention is taken by Shino turning towards me, the corner of her mouth curled into a self-assured smirk.
その表情は何？
私の聞き間違いじゃなければ、今のは恋する乙女のため息
A maiden in love. I evasively look away, but the blood rushing to my cheeks tell her all she needs to know. Love. How odd and for in a word. I never did understand the students who hung from another's arms with dumb grins. Romance movies never appealed to me to begin with, and the concept always felt so abstract in my course texts. There were words on a page, nothing more. Maidens. Shino has a very antiquated way of speaking. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out she's also like a mage who's been around for a while longer, but she's hiding it relatively well. Or if she just hangs around with people who talk. Yet rolling the word around in my mind somehow feels like a tempting sweet. This yearning to be by Yasuo's side, for her to look at me the way I want. Perhaps the feeling really is what everyone else always meant. She may be older than I, and a mage with power I can only dimly grasp, but even so, I love her. I can only wonder how she sees me.
やだな。詮索する気はないって。恋してる人の香りを楽しみたいだけ。
She grins widely, but my thoughts are elsewhere. I find myself unable to come up with a response, coming to terms with my small revelation in front of a near stranger.
そうだ。悪いけど、今日は早めに締めさせてもらっていいかな。ちょっと用事があってさ。
I wish I had a library close by where I could become friends with the person working here. No, even more, I wish I could work at a library. When to work at a library, you need to go to university and you need to get a bunch of degrees to even get into it. And I do not have any degrees. I would like to work at a library though.
それは私が決めることじゃないから。
Life is hard.
ほんの数分だからね。他の職員は気づきはしないって。
She airily waves off any suggestion this might be a problem, might be amusement only barely hidden. I wonder how many others have this kind of work ethic. With her box of books now empty, she places the last one in its place. I place a scrap of paper into my textbook for a bookmark and pack it away. I pull on my coat and slip my bag over her shoulder, noting that the next train should be soon, going by my phone.
あ、急いで出なくていいよ。ついでだし、駅まで一緒に行こうよ。
You implying I don't already dress as a stereotypical librarian, even though I don't work there. Depends on the day, actually. It depends on what I'm feeling that day. Yeah, I know. I'm just poking fun. It really depends. I don't mind taking the train as long as it may take. Everyone keeps to themselves. The rattle of carriages and quiet chat of students and kids also provides a nice ambience of sorts. Never did I imagine it would be a shared experience, those peaceful thoughts long gone. All I could do is keep my eyes pinned to the window the entire time, watching the scenery stroll by rather than risk staring. At least she just played with her phone rather than chat. The crunch of snow heralds two sets of feet walking up the street. Paths here less tended to than the cities, crudely shoveled to make a walkway and little more. Also street signs poke out of the snow piled to the side, along with the odd pitiable bare tree. Everything here is newly built, not to say expensively so. The oldest house is likely 20 or so years old. Not that the block is down apparently changed much from decade to decade. My parents noted in passing how they had our house built and moving. I have like two pictures of myself on Twitter. One of them being the most expensive dress I've ever owned, and still do. And the other being from 3 years ago at Pride, where a bunch of people asked me if that was my actual hair or a wig, and I was like, that is the most perfect split dye I've ever seen on hair, so a wig. As condensation billows in front of my mouth with every breath, I find myself looking forward to a hot bath. Thankfully, my coat is still going strong despite its age. It might not be fashionable, but the heavy cotton is thick and warm.
歩くの早いね。やりかけのゲームでもあるの？ゲームはあまりしない。いつもこれくらいの速さで歩いてる。
I love the walking cycle. I don't care. They can show me so many scenes, but nothing is going to beat the walking cycle for me. I'm sorry. Looks soft and cozy, and then everything is very, very much, oh my god, we're using blood magic. It's just lovely. Yes, it's so good. It's so good.
もうちょっとゆっくりしなよ。人生は長いんだし、そんなに急いだっていいことないって。
How easy that is to say for someone as carefree as her. Quietly bothered, I close myself off and try to focus on just getting home. I hope wherever Shino needs to go comes by soon. Yet again, I still have trouble seeing Shino as someone my age. She finds joy in everything she does and everyone she meets. They're always what traits to have, I suppose. God forbid a woman has hobbies! I'm sorry! It isn't long before I notice a lack of footsteps beyond mine. For a moment I think she's forcing a point about my pace, but turning back shows her to be preoccupied with her... Hey. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Enjoy! She's got onto her right thigh with both hands, but even as she jerks it about to and fro, her knee doesn't move from its current angle at all. We actually had the sound for it again for once. That's interesting. I'm about to ask what's wrong before she resorts to more brutal methods, hitting the side of her knee rather violently with the side of her ball fist. Hello? After 3 good hits, it suddenly limbers up and begins flopping about. It's unnerving to see a limb moving so unnaturally, but Shino's apparently satisfied, so she tests her weight on it.
冬場はいつもこうバカみたい。
What the fuck is happening? Hi!
義足なの？
My stomach drops the moment the words escape my mouth. I want to run away as Shino stops and looks up in realization that another person was with her.
バレちゃったか。
Aesthetics! My first thought was like, oh, so she is older than we think she is, and like her legs. She has arthritis. No, arthritis you have in your arms. Hands. It's prosthetics. Yeah, that makes sense. For someone like me who waffled on about eyes and disability like an hour ago, that could have... Yeah, okay, I'm stupid. Thank you for the hidden time. Me going, oh, what if you only have one leg? I will shut up.
ごめんなさい。私知らなくて。ああ、別に隠してたわけじゃないしね。趣味で義足を作ってるくらいだし、気にしないで。
Before I can sprint home and wallow while cringing, she quickly skips up with a set of now quite operational legs.
もうだいぶ前のことだからね。心配しなくていいよ。
I think she lost what seems to be both legs going by how she spoke. I had no idea. They looked so normal. Everyone seems to have lost something or someone when I start getting to know them.
義足ってそんなに自然に動くんだね。言われないと気づかなかったと思う。
Even I can tell this is getting too personal for Shino, the woman hesitating to reply. Our walk comes to an end as we reach my house. For once, Fortune smiles at me with the chance to end the conversation.
じゃあここで。あ、ここがほのかちゃんち？いいね。
Thank you for the gifted sub! Glad for the break from the topic, she looks up at the nondescript house for a few moments. Her expression is little more than passing interest before she waves goodbye.
じゃあまたね。
Danny! Enjoy the emote! For a few moments, I watched the odd woman stroll away without a care in the world. She has a certain free spirit to her, but that's about all I can pin her down on. What an odd person to be so fleeting a presence. I like Shino, from the few scenes we've had with her. Rolling away the memory as one of life's meaningless little meetings, I fumble in my pocket to try to retrieve and let myself inside. Once again, I'm alone. Oh! Slipping off my shoes and setting off the bag around my shoulder, a troublesome thought runs through my mind. The biting one. I'm so glad I got it. Led on by some strange urgency, I head on up the stairs before me. I drink the bedroom with a quickening heart, my feet step lightly over the stains of my work and come to a stop at my desk. Wrong. Wrong! Isabella's book is where it always is, with a well-used laptop beside it. Everything's exactly as it was. I was just being paranoid. I rub the back of my neck to ease my self-induced anxiety, telling myself off for gathering yet another bad habit. I log onto the computer, glancing over the folder containing copious translations and notes on blood magic. Yazime asked me to let go, but I can't just stop trying. Shino to pass right by my house, though. I turn it off and close the laptop, sliding it into a drawer. Just to keep things neat, I tell myself. How ironic that someone with a reputation as a meticulously organized neat freak would end up living like this. The knife, however, stays in ready reach. I'm not sure I like that. Happy Blue Wednesday! Hell yeah! Good morning. How are you? I return soon, yes. Oh, girl. The friendship knife. True. Oh, God. The friendship knife is somewhere among the fireflies. The friendship knife is somewhere in the depths of all of my overlay stuff. The television blares away in the otherwise silent room. I report on the weather, repeating what anyone here already knows, that this year's winter is only becoming more bitter. The weather today nearly a whiteout from the snowfall. Between the screen and myself, a half-eaten pasta lunch sits on the table. I stare at it to try and force myself to eat, but I can't master any appetite. Another of those particular dreams happened last night. Those that give me such rare happiness, only to mercilessly crush it upon me. Oh no. Oh, you were looking. You sure were. Enjoy. Enjoy. But yeah, wait. I'm not gonna keep it there though, because it's not really like the friendship knife is funny, but not in this specific context. A dream where my parents were. They were real. They spoke so clearly and looked so normal. All we did was talk. Not about anything in particular, just mundane things. A perfectly everyday scene, as if they'd never left me. Then the alarm's blaring cracked through my thoughts. In one horrible instant, they left me again. Fading memories of home-cooked food play on my mind. I hold on to them dearly, yet their tastes and textures grow ever more. The images and voices of my parents too grow faint. It feels as though I've lost them once, only to be slowly losing them again. This house is too big. This world is too big. The more I try to cling onto what little I still hold dear, the more I feel adrift in a churning and stormy sea. How yes I managed, I simply don't know. I only wish that I were as strong as her. Giving up on my meal, I take to my feet and glance out the window. The morning's harsh snow continues to fall, hazy shadows of nearby buildings obscured by the thick white fog enveloping outside. She lost every last soul she knew, yet so patiently listened as I talked about my own grief. A solitude of so many lifelines for someone so warm and kind. A solitude there's no saving her from. How can someone like Shino even contemplate making the world a better place when such injustices exist? The cold outside begins to permeate the house, the heating unable to keep up. That matters little now. Gazing at the bleak scenery outside, I resolve myself to how I spent the day ahead. Turning on my heel, I head toward the stairs. Cleaning up after my meal will come later. This world hardly matters anymore. Entering the bedroom, I stride towards the desk without hesitation and grab my knife in hand. Oh no! It's been a week now since I visited yesterday. A week spent surviving but hardly living. Touching the blade tightly, I take a long breath. Doing this now is a little easier than it was the first time. Opening the book that started it all, I flipped to one of the multicolored bookmarks stuck to its time-worn pages. Transference, the scholar called it, a spell which would alter the course of my life so drastically. Looking between the diagrams in its pages and the stained floor below, I set the knife back and crouched down, fixing the detailed glyphs with chalk from the drawer. There would have seen better days for my vandalism, but I've given up caring. Righting myself after a few moments of scrolling, I look down at my work, satisfied that everything is as it should be. Compared to my other experiments, so much practice with transference has at least made this work relatively reliably. My heart catches on to what's happening, suddenly accelerating as I pull up a sleeve to reveal my bandaged arm. Little by little, I slowly unwind the white-colored gauze in a now familiar routine. Taking the knife once more, I press the blade's edge to bared flesh. Ugh. One shuddering breath is all I allow myself in hesitation before pulling the sharp blade across, a yelp of pain echoing about the room as pain nuts through my consciousness. Blood now flowing freely, I put the weapon away and focus my thoughts on the goal. It helps to push through the pain at least a little. Kneeling down with fingers extended, warm fluid flows over them and onto the shapes drawn below. My job done, I stand in the center of it all. The sight is no less surreal, no less ghastly than the first time I saw it. Pain still pulses from a fresh wound, blood dripping to the floor beside me. Pushing all unnecessary thoughts aside, I close my eyes and prepare myself. For my happiness, for my love, I have to endure this. I concentrate on imagining the symbols and patterns around me in my mind. Surrounding myself as my thoughts and emotions begin to dance and twirl, I let myself be carried away by the thoughts running in my mind. How did she manage to reach that shut-off world? First time she did this, that's what I'd like to know. How strange this false world is. With my bandages rewrapped and the short trek into town made, I idly stand at the park and watch the people for the space go about their day. Of the space. They laugh and smile, greet and gossip. Some are tired and weary, while others gleefully skip along. They look so real, yet every last one never existed in the first place. They're all simple figments of Yesu's imagination, memories given form and voice. A world unchanging, which will never fade nor crumble. Where Yesu is in his world though, I'm not sure. I support women's rights and I support women's wrongs. Presenting myself to talking with one such actor in her grand play, I walk up to a yawning elderly man as he waits on a street corner.
すみません。安江さんはどこにいるのかご存知ですか?
My voice is oddly confident when talking to a total stranger, the experience feeling almost amusing knowing what I do now.
安江さんなら散歩に出られたよ。南の方に行けば見つかるはずだよ。
Oh, Jesus! You don't even get a name, you're literally just an old man. Okay. Here's a perfectly reasonable reply, despite not an ounce of free will. Stuck by curiosity, I wonder if...
6、パンケーキ、魚、8、車、電話。
悪いね、お嬢さん。そろそろ行かないと。
With that, he turns and begins to hobble away along the street. The moment anyone here gets unexpected input, they leave rather than attempt to discuss it. They're less controlled puppets and more autonomous robots parroting laughingly primitive scripts. Just goes to show how little I meaningful converse with anyone. The slightest interaction should have shown me this, yet I never even suspected so in all the time I've come here. I did. And I was right. With a bemused snort, I begin to walk southward. Some ways from the town, beyond the gravel roads and wooden buildings, lie the forest surrounding Old Sapporo. Little more than untamed wilderness, these areas would only be developed half a century later. Some birds squawk in the distance, flying freely in the azure sky above. Trees sway in the breeze, and my footsteps upon the dirt are soft. It may not be as noisy as a city, in this time or mine, but life still continues here as well. There she is. Searching for Yeso takes some time, but she finally comes into view some distance ahead. Seeing where she is, it's no wonder she was hard to find.
安江、こんなところでどうしたの?
Whispers to you like pretty much. It's like recently, whenever I start stream, I get the whole, oh, are you tired? You sound tired. Which I always do, and then the longer we go on, the more it's like, you're right, maybe it does call to me a little.
あら、ずいぶんな挨拶だこと。
She gives a churlish grin as I walk between the trees to find her, the woman quite content to remain exactly where she is. Once again, I'm reminded of so many old photos, with stiff and formal people captured in those rigid poses for years to come. Never did they stand in a forest lazily baking and basking in the warmth around them. Maybe also baking! Yet I'm glad for it. We parted on such awful terms, but now she couldn't look more different, to smile in so cruel a prison. I was so glad to see her, and even now I feel at ease in her world. I'm left to wonder how she sees me, behind her calm and contented smile.
ほのか、元気にしていたかしら?
I am... okay-ish?
そうね。特に変わったこともないし。
私の方も特に変わったことはないわね。
She gives a small giggle at her joke, but I can't laugh along. Does she expect me to just ignore what we shared with each other, the loss we both felt? Yesu's smile soon falters. No, she didn't expect me to forget my mourning. She wanted me to move past it as she has. But I'm not that strong. I'm not as good of a person as everyone thought I was.
どうして安江はそんな風にしていられるの？
そんな風って何のことかしら？
笑うこと。
Aww. Sweet chuckle, the other one has the energy of a little crit and the same attitude. Same. There's two wolves inside of you. They both want candy. A silence follows. For all of Yessa's attempts to lighten the mood, I've simply thrown it all back at her. I feel terrible for doing so, but among so many things I don't understand, that's one of the least. As Yessa's attention turns upward, I follow her gaze. A brilliant and cloudless sky hangs high above us, light shining through the canopies of the trees. I wonder how long it's been since I saw a vivid, clear day like this.
悲しむべきなのかしらね。ここにいる皆が偽物だもの。でもね、また誰かを失う喪失感に耐えられなかったの。それだけのためにこの力を使うなんて、軽率で身勝手じゃないかしら。
I mean, to be fair, why wouldn't you use those powers though if you have them?
そんなのみんな同じよ。死ぬのは怖いから考えたくもない。もし私に安江と同じ才能があったら同じことをしたと思う。
私たち魔術師がなぜ力を持っているのか、理由は誰にもわからないの。異常なほど寿命が長い者や恐ろしい力を振るう者もいる。だから私たちを本当に人間と呼べるのか疑問に思う人もいる。
安江はどう思ってるの？
前は疑っていたわ。でも答えが見つかるのは100年後になりそうね。
I wonder how old she is.
この世界は鮮やかで明るいけれど、どんなに頑張っても自分を騙して信じきることはできなかった。時が経つにつれて、私はたくさんの感情や気持ちを失い、それに耐えようと自分を鈍らせていった。でも、ほのかが来てくれたから、初めて感情を取り戻せたのよ。なくしたと思っていたたくさんの思いや記憶が、今までにないほど鮮やかに蘇ったの。
I accidentally skipped the text box even though she wasn't done talking yet. Something, humans are not made for solitude.
助けられなくてごめんなさい。頑張ったけど、私じゃどうにもならなくて。
ほのか、あなたはもう私を救ってくれたのよ。だから。
Oh. I'm left a little confused as she pauses, the air about her somewhat different than usual. The warm sun beams down, the field around us basking in its bright gaze. The grass around us rustles in the breeze, slowly picking up to a gentle wind.
ほのか、ちょっと目を閉じてもらえる？
あ、うん。
Trusting in her, I obediently shut my eyes. Something swirls about me, my heart racing at not knowing what's happening. A wash of cold envelops my body, but I tell myself to keep them shut. Wing.
ありがとう。もう目を開けてもいいわ。
Opening my eyes, they at first need some time to adjust to the light. It's only after a few seconds that I realize the scene surrounding us. You know everybody kissing the end of the trauma? No, they had the trauma beforehand. Sticking my head to and fro, I stumble about as I try to keep track of the small lights darting between the trees. Hundreds, thousands of fireflies dance about us in the night air as I shift about. My mother and father stand behind me as I skip through the gardens, my yukata flapping about as I run around. My eyes try to follow one, only for another to sit by and take my attention. So ethereal, so magical, compared to the mundane, glitzy streets of downtown. I turn back to my parents to exclaim how amazing they are, and a woman stands, patiently, content to smile and watch me. A yellow yukata matches her eyes, the glow no less bright than the fireflies around us.
安江、どうして？
As her magically imbued eyes join the fireflies' glow in the night's darkness, the reason is perfectly clear.
ここにいる人たちだけじゃない。この世界そのものもあなたが作ったの？
最初の頃は幻想の世界を作っていたわ。全く違う可能性に満ち溢れた世界を何百通りも作ったの。でもいくら作っても奪い去られた世界への憧れを抑えきれなかった。正気を保っていられるように知っている世界を可能な限り再現したの。現実に限りなく近い人たちがいる世界をね。その世界が私たちが今いる世界よ。
すごいよ、安江。私には到底できない。
いいえ、ほのか。あなたは私を救ってくれたのだもの。私は現実とのつながりを失い、自分の作り出した世界に没頭して永遠の孤独を生きていた。封印されたなんてなかったかのように振る舞って生きてきたの。そのうち自ら進んで正気を手放し、自分自身さえ見失ってしまったと思っていた。でもね、ほのか、あなたが証明してくれたの。私にはまだ人間らしさが残っているって。素晴らしくも恐ろしくもある人間だということを。
That's what this one is from! Wait. As I look at her smiling face, her hand reaches out towards me. At first she cradles my cheek before gently stroking the side of my face. Far from recoiling, I find myself melting at her touch. I wonder how long has it been since I felt the warmth of another? Far, far too long. The simple feeling of a gentle hand on my cheek is overwhelming. Yasu's kind face looking almost fragile as she shakily speaks.
だから私を救えなかったとなんて言わないで。ほのかはもういろんなものをくれたわ。私を解放できなくてもいい。毎日ここに来てくれなくてもいいし、現実世界のことを教えてくれなくてもいい。血の魔法だって完全に理解しようとしなくていいの。そんなこと気にしないわ。あなたがいてくれるだけで嬉しいの。ほのかが生きて存在している。それだけで十分幸せよ。
As long as I can remember, I was meant to be a high achiever, get good marks, be the best I could be. I'd go on to do great things if I applied myself. Is this really fine? Is it okay to stop? I never even considered the possibility. As she cradles my cheek, I know that look in her eyes. She's seen right through me. Perhaps it's the wisdom of age or simply my nature being easy to read. I've never been a good liar. For the first time, nothing stands between us. The person before me isn't some grand mage nor wizened older woman. She's simply human. Wonderfully, beautifully human. As we look at each other, my heart aches. Our eyes close to the fireflies around us. The last barrier between us is gone, the two of us moving to the same script. Yasu gently lowers herself, my chin rising to meet her lips, and... I always thought my heart was supposed to race at a time like this, that I was supposed to be a mess of feelings and my mind a jumbled heap. Yet, as I feel Yasu's soft lips against mine, tinged by the salt of my tears, my mind is clearer than it has ever been. For the first time I can remember, my feelings make sense. Yes! I truly love this woman. Nobody else will remember me. My existence is no less fleeting than the apparitions Yasu conjures. While this world may be false, our two souls are real. Real! More real it feels than my own world. I just threw down a pair of scissors. One moment. Kiss, 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 kiss. Scene 9, The Lady in Red. The walk to the cemetery from home is a long one. With little to see and few passing along a road so far from the city, the journey forces a certain amount of reflection. The odd car driving by only accentuates the solitude. It's so funny. This game is set in the middle of winter, also, you know, Sapporo. And outside it's like 30 degrees and I'm dying. As my destination comes into view, I wonder how often I should be coming here. It's a difficult question to ask of anyone. If nothing else, I suppose such visits at least keep the grave in good maintenance. Oh yeah. Coming to the ostentatious open gates, I head in without hesitation. The path to the Asakawa grave is, after some meandering at first, etched on my mind. A dusting of snow lies atop the stone, but everything looks to be in order otherwise. Cold and impersonal as the stone monument may be, this is all I have. The waves become smaller, she says. Heaving a sigh, I try to refocus my thoughts by flicking off what snow I can. The grave looks a little neater for the effort as I step back and brush the frost off my now cold hands. What I intended to say flows from my lips before I know it, as if my thoughts could wait no longer.
お母さん、父さん、私、好きな人ができたよ。
Aww.
その人に会うのは大変だし、私より年上なんだけどね。すごく優しいの。もっと違う状況で出会えてたらと思うこともあるけど、その人と一緒にいると幸せだよ。
The cold stone gives no reply. Even as I talk of happiness, a lump is in my throat. But, my love has to be qualified in so many ways. Even now I can't see Yesa. A light in my life has finally appeared, yet it flickers so dimly. All I can do is clutch at it tightly, for it's all I have. Yesa survived so many years by herself, and the sheer thought of such a fate horrifies me. I wish I could be half as strong as she is, yet she doesn't begrudge me for that at all. For all I've studied Isabella di Mora's notes, there's not one way to avoid this tide I have to be. Even the other spells are worthless, being nothing more than objects conjured from blood. Jesus. To distract myself from my thoughts, I sweep the last of the snow off the gravestone's top. There is, at least, a certain satisfaction in cleaning, of righting the world in some small, trivial way. Where the music stop? My job done, I look about at my surroundings. Not a soul is to be seen on this cold winter's day, save for a solitary woman up ahead. The vivid red of her kimono pierces the white snow as it falls. She stands alone in haunting silence, just as she always has. Then she turns. My eyes quickly flick downward as she begins to walk in my direction, cursing myself for having stared at such a bad time. Clatter, clatter. Her wooden zodi causes a small din as she steps along the concrete paths. Clatter, clatter. Her graceful footsteps ring out as regular as a metronome. Not with how I'm saying it. The next step never comes. My heart skips a beat as I notice the woman come to a stop beside me. Hello.
Asakawa-san かしら?
Yes. With no small amount of hesitation, I turn to face the source of that dulce voice like a penitent school child. Now that I get a better look at the woman, I wasn't wrong about her being a matriarch. Younger than normal, perhaps, but no less stately and aloof in her demeanor. Most striking, though, isn't her clothing, nor the air about her, but her eyes. Those deep black eyes are strangely captivating, alluring yet unsettling at the same time. An abyss I already feel myself sinking into as I meekly stare out. Utterly lost for words as the snow falls about us, a passing thought crosses my mind. What kind of life gives someone such a gaze?
時々私を見ていたでしょ。理由を聞いてもいいかしら。
See my cheeks blush instantly, awkwardly averting my face to hide it. All I can offer is silence. What other response can I possibly give? Closing her eyes, she thankfully lets the point go.
そう。なら答えなくてもいいわ。代わりに、私のわがままを聞いてもらえるかしら。少し話に付き合ってほしいの。
What a nice voice! I absentmindedly nod. The fact we're so clearly alone as she says this plays on my mind. She's barely wanted to talk to me, and only me.
この町にかつて一人の少女がいた。少女の名は勝子。少女は早熟で周りに興味を示さない子だった。大人たちがどれほど構おうとしても、誰かと話すより一人きりで本を読むのが好きだった。両親はそんな娘を溺愛し、どんな興味や好奇心だろうと満たそうとした。少女はやがてすぐに自分だけの図書室を築き上げ、壁に囲まれた小さな世界だけで満足していた。でもそれはある冬の夜に終わった。静かに降る雪とまばゆいばかりの橙色の炎。その光景が少女の心に深く刻まれた。
There is a burn mark on her neck.
火は瞬く間に木造の建物に燃え広がり、夜が明ける頃にはその家のみならず町の大部分が焼き落ちていた。少女は傷を負いながらも生き延びたが、愛情深い両親は灰となっていた。
辛かったでしょうね。
She merely closes her eyes, the moment of silence saying more than any words could. Some wounds are too deep for time to ever heal. She casts her eyes back to where she'd been, the gravestone blotched with... Fuck, I got told how you say this last time. And its crumbling corners weathered. Without me, this grave too will eventually suffer the same fate. The similarity of our past doesn't go missed. Of all the places to feel a connection with another.
ずっと一人きりだったんですか？
いいえ、それは違うわ。
Literally, maybe. The eyes lazily roll back to me. Every action she takes feels languid, as if bored with the very act of moving.
もう一人生き残った子供がいたの。その少女には姉がいたのよ。父親は違うけれど、二人とも魔術師の血を引いていた。一人は人との付き合いを避け、もう一人は人を愛した。そして他人の注目を浴びることを人生の糧とし、会う人すべてを魅了した。火事の後、町は無言の裁定を下した。一方には哀れみを、一方には糾弾を。
Those black eyes leer over me, emotionless as the true meaning of her words washes over me. If one lived so long through her magic, then the mage before me might be. At once I feel panic, a deep urgency to do anything, to say something, yet neither my body nor mouth will move. Is his sister, the one who sealed her so long ago, is the one before me? Far from talking me out of my fear, she simply observes me with distant interest. What does she know of us? What can I do with what she's told me? What would Yes herself think were I to tell her?
どうして私にその話を？
My words feel pathetic, timidly stuttered into the cold air.
悲しみを抱えているのはあなただけじゃない。周りを見なさい。その証がたくさんあるわ。夏の花は枯れ、秋の葉は落ちる。移ろいゆく世界に私たちは抗う運命にある。人間の永遠の愚行に対して、そして冬の雪が舞い降りる。あらゆるものが過ぎ去っていく。私たちは時の流れの前では風に舞う花びらのようなもの。
All sense of panic has evaporated as she falls silent, giving way to a grey hopelessness. She has no intention of harming me. There's simply nothing I can say against her, nor anything I can do, and she knows it.
物事が変わらないでほしいと思うのは普通のことでは？こんな風になりたくないって思うのも普通のことだと思う。
永続性を望むとはいかにも人間らしいわね。でも私たちは変化する世界に生まれた。愛するものはなくなり、家は変わり、慣れ親しんだ風習も徐々に馴染みのないものへと変わっていく。それは私たちの運命よ。抗おうとしたものの多くが狂気の深みに落ちていった。そうしなかった者たちは歴史に暗い物語を刻んだ。浅川ほのか、他人に執着しても苦しむだけよ。飲み込まれたくなければ手放すことを知りなさい。
Huh?
飲み込まれる？何に？誰に？
My last words drift unanswered into the cold breeze, the clatter of wooden sandals against concrete ringing out once more. So she knows my full name as well. If I were to ask how, I know I wouldn't get an answer. All I can do is watch as she leaves, the blonde woman opening the door for waiting for Malfoy. Lady Yonohara, what kind of past has she led for so many years to give her such eyes? Act 1, Scene 10, Lamentation of the Lost. Sitting on a bench downtown, I idly stare upwards at the sunlit sky. The sun is warm here, the noise of cars is gone, and the music of stores silent. Basking in the surreal surroundings, I rub my arm from the aching. A rough man hawks his cheap wares at the side of the road, and a couple of women chat while carrying children on their backs. The dapper gentleman gives a smile and a nod to them as he strolls along, his cane tapping beside him. My vision's briefly blocked by a rickshaw trundling up the road, an old woman enjoying the excitement of the ride. I can't help but see them as people, despite them being little more than actors performing leverets. But this isn't the world's the Meiji era, but at least as well. An immaculate replica of a past age, but a replica nonetheless. Yet the sun still shines warmly. The bench I sit on is sturdy and carefully carved, and the buildings up and down the street are built of crafted wood rather than glass and concrete. Other than uniformed staff silently poised behind counters, hawkers yell to the passing crowds from open airs and storefronts. Horses neigh as people wrestle their bridles, the scent carrying in the air. Bridles. How strange that a false world should feel more real than my own. This is a city vivid, almost lurid with life. A city conjured by the woman quickly skipping over in her cheerful sunflower-colored kimono. Yasuo's face is no less warm than the sun beaming over her shoulder as she smiles down at me. But as I come to my feet and her eyes meet mine, I can only think of Yonohana's. The darkness I felt from her sister is entirely absent from Yasuo. As I catch my reflection in Yasuo's calm gaze, it's difficult to see how the two are related, let alone sisters. Well, she did say they had different dads. As her conjured fan disappears, however, I'm reminded of one similarity, to her mages. The same power Yasuo used to create this world, Yonohana also possesses. Their powers are opposites then.
どうかしたの?
What I'm wondering about is if we're going to see Yonohana without her coat, and if her kimono is gonna be similar to the one that Yasuo's wearing, like kind of reflection thingy. I should tell her what I saw. For days now I've rehearsed how to explain that meeting at the cemetery. Yonohana's words weigh heavily on my mind, speaking of a past Yasuo never told me. A past of suffering, of loss, and of anger. But as Yasuo stands before me now, I can't find the words. No matter what I say to her, it would only bring pain. So I choose the coward's option.
なんでもない。ここ、初めて来た時と変わらないくらい、現実感がないなって。
She accepts the words cheerfully, which only makes me feel worse. I loathe this side of myself. Yasuo moves to speak once more, but her eyes drawn to my bulging pocket. She knows what my phone represents now, a rare link to the outside world. It takes me a moment to remember what I brought with me, being so wrapped up in Yunahana. My hand reaches into my pocket to pluck it out, her eyes following with poorly hidden curiosity before eagerly taking the device in both hands as I hand it over.
今の世界がどんな風か見せてあげようと思ってここ数週間写真を撮ってたんだ。
Oh, yeah. Yasuo looks back down to the phone as I unlock it for her, her expression lighting up as the black screen comes to life. She's already worked out how to open the photo gallery, pausing for my approval before gingerly tapping it.
写真を撮るのはあんまり得意じゃないけど街中あちこちで撮ってみたの。
Subite no, I can't read those kanji. Arupam! I see. Yeah, sure. All I can do is awkwardly fiddle with my hair as she scans every inch of the thumbnails before pressing on the first new entry.
これ私の家がある通り。現代じゃありきたりの住宅街だね。
Just saying, that phone UI is very iOS inspired. If I'm looking at my own photo album on my phone right now, I'd say that is very similar.
これは車かしら。空にどうして線が引いてあるの？この壁は木ではないのでしょ？
Number of questions from the very first photo, I try to answer each in succession. While pointing out this and that, I'm forced to think about details of modern life I've simply taken for granted. Already exhausted from just a single one of the dozen or so I brought along, I take a seat beside Yasuo as she sits to go through the others.
まあ、北海道庁。まだそこにあるのね。でも、その周りの建物はこんなに高い建物は初めてだわ。それ
これでも高層ビルに比べるとかなり小さい方よ。後ろに映ってる大きなお皿みたいなものは地球の周りを回ってる衛星と通信してる。
Sorry. I wonder if she could conjure up a car, like just from seeing it and like knowing the basic thingy that it moves, you can sit in it, whatever, or if she would need more intimate knowledge of something to conjure it up. I may have moved a little too fast. Yasuo's mind still stuck on buildings made of metal and glass. The amount that's happened since the late 19th century is a little staggering now that I think about it. She flips to the next in the stack, a bright red vending machine piled with snow.
これは見たことがないわね。
自動販売機って言ってね、硬貨を入れると選んだ飲み物が出てくるの。広まったのは何年後かな。
That's another topic which will be beyond her. Of all the wondrous advances we've made beyond her time, the sufferings of war are barely imaginable even to now. Yasuo catches my dark expression, waiting for my explanation. That's not something I want to burden her with, not now anyway.
そのことについては話すことがありすぎるから、今度本を持ってきて説明するね。
With some hesitation, she accepts the blatant sidestepping. I wonder how Yasuo would react to the horrors my world has faced compared to hers. Returning to the phone, she swipes across to another photo. As townspeople mill about around us, the woman carefully examines every detail in the shot. It's fascinating to watch Yasuo swipe through the gallery with one flick of her thumb and then another. The woman whose lived experience was stuck in the Meiji era, navigating a phone with amazing ease. Gives me a new appreciation for how quick humans are at adaptation. Questions she once peppered me will soon become rare before she finally goes entirely quiet. One after the other, she slowly makes her way through the gallery, immersed entirely in a world she can't touch. As minutes go by, I realize that this is the only thing I've ever seen her do in total silence. Photos of cars and trains, decorative lights and advertisements around the city at night, arcade machines and teens playing them at game centers, people using computers and playing with mobile phones, bikes, houses, restaurants, alleyways and busy roads. Just everyday things. trivial, meaningless things I'd so often walk right past, all of which utterly fascinate Yesu. I expected to be narrating the experience, explaining this or that. Instead, she looks on in simple, silent wonder. The feeling I have while watching her is a little wistful, perhaps like a parent watching a child experiencing something for the first time. Everyday life must be very strange from the perspective of someone from this era. From soft drink cans to medical advances, life is more comfortable than ever, for better or worse, we advance. Then Yasa reaches the final photos. Crowds waiting at train platforms, tourists dragging luggage about, salarymen on their way to work, and shoppers on a busy weekend. I like that the faces are blurred out. The last photo is a shot taken from downtown, practically from where we sit. Screens and advertisements cover the tall buildings looming over snowy streets thick with random people. A photo of nothing in particular, just people living their lives. Looking to Yasa, her aura changes. She showed so much delight at modern curiosities, but her longing for that world beyond the glass screen is palpable. No, not the world inside it. People inside. My heart sinks as Yasa's lips begin to quiver. I soon realize that it isn't the fingers of sadness plucking at the strings, but barely repressed anger. She hands my phone back to me. I notice her knuckles going white from anger.
あの女に私はどれほどのものを奪われたの？どうして？何のために？
She forgets my existence for some time as she quietly repeats the question into the thin air. I don't dare speak up. Yonohara's existence would only rub salt into the wound. As much as she may grieve those she's lost, Yasa's anger at the one who took them from her is no less wrong. Even having met Yonohara though, I can't guess at her reason for seeking Yasa. She seems a perfectly kind, warm person, yet Yonohara's cold, even arrogant demeanor. Time to think over a brief talk hasn't helped endear her to me at all.
何か私にできることはない。復讐でも何でも。
Suddenly reminded that I'm here, her mind snaps back into the present as she looks back towards me. The hate in Yasa isn't stifled that easily, her stilted smile hardly convincing nor reassuring.
何もしてくれなくていいの。あなたのような人がいてくれる。それだけで十分よ。
She reaches over to stroke my hair with her right hand, but as an odd fit of burning willpower sparks inside of me, I tightly clasp it with my own hands instead. I might not be much use to anyone, but for the woman I love.
遠慮なんていらない。安江のためなら何だってする。
そう。それならもう少しだけ一緒にいてもらおうかしら。ね、ほのか。
She gives an indulgent smile as she clasps my hands with her own, staring into my eyes as she does. I smile, or try to, but my eyes are so barely free of tears. I'm reminded of those words spoken in the cemetery. Where one avoided company, the other adored it. She lived for the attention of others and charmed anyone she met. There's no doubt the two are truly related. Yonohara knows her too well. How Yonohara could do this to her own sister, I don't understand. No matter the reason, one walks free and the other languishes in language. For Yasa, my life will appear a momentary flicker. No matter how deep our love, I can't free her, nor raise a hand to Yonohara. Our time together will be but a blink in a lifetime of solitude. Whether my world or hers, I can't save her. The sudden music stopping always freaks me out. Act 1, Scene 11, A Paralyzed Soul. Some people find comfort in cafes chatting with friends, others at coffee shops with co-workers while discussing the day ahead. Some would think at home, surrounded by this personal project or that. For me, the place of comfort would be the Meiji world of Yasa's mind. Until then, though, the library will have to. As the shuffling of Shino's work echoes about the quiet room, I silently scan the passages of my favorite book, Isabella Mora. Its pages aren't worn from age but from use. It was this which sparked my interest in Italian literature to begin with. A rather more useful book lives on my desk, undisturbed. Nobody can know about it, nobody can know but us. Immersed in reading the collection of her sonnets, I come to the final verse of my favorite poem. The grief-stained words take on a new significance, absentmindedly mumbled under my breath as I read them.
夏も冬ももはや私を傷つけることはない。 暑さも寒さも感じられないからだ。兄弟よ、希望は等しく虚しい。
Yet, yes, those will be the final words of hers which I remember. With that, I closed the book before me. Oh, what are you doing?
その本好きなの？
Sheena's friendly voice makes me look up. The box beside her, previously full of books to shelf away, now empty. She sure isn't the type to enjoy a comfortable silence, nor a quiet moment without some distraction.
イザベラ・ディ・モーラの詩集。注釈が書かれていて、時々読んでるの。へえ、そうなんだ。イザベラを知っているの？全然。
The attempt at striking up a conversation is earnest, if nothing else.
にしてもよく読めるね。それ、イタリア語で書いてあるんでしょ？
I give another quiet nod. While not wanting to be abrasive, I want to keep this world private from her. Isabella's work is difficult to read given its age, hailing from the 16th century, just as a certain other book, but is no less captivating. Indeed, that goes to show the universal nature of feelings. Looking back down at the book's worn cover, a familiar feeling rises within me. I wish that I hadn't taken this road, been interested in normal things and led a normal life with others. Even now, I can't help but ward off Shino's overtures.
時々思うんだよね。読書家のほのかちゃんの方がこの仕事に向いてるんじゃないかって。本が好きじゃないの？最近じゃネットの記事以外ほとんど読んでないな。それにイタリア語なんてさっぱりわかんないし。私なんかよりほのかちゃんの方がとっくに上を行ってるよ。なんだか自慢してるみたい。その逆だよ。むしろ恥ずかしく思ってる。この大学の学生ってみんな私よりずっと優秀なんだもん。私なんて学ぶ時間がないわけじゃないのに、怠け癖のせいで何にもしてないだけ。人生で学べる時間なんて限られてるのに。
It's never too late to learn, though. Wow, why am I go crazy like that?
ああ、時間がないわけじゃないよ。それは確かなんだけどね。私はどっちかっていうと、広く浅く勉強したいタイプみたい。って言えば通じるかな。
Gina and I really are nothing alike. Trying to put her out of mind, I glance out the window. The depth of winter isn't far away, with the snowfall only becoming heavier and sky more. How do people live so easily? Gino can smile and chat so thoughtlessly, just as Yasuo does. Instead, I just have a hollow, an emptiness that indulging myself in books can't fill, no matter how hard I try. I perhaps hoped that finding love would fill that void, only to have her denied from me thanks to my help. Yet Yasuo smiles every time we meet, while I walk free in a grey world.
どうしていつもそんなに明るくいられるの？
Something breaks within me as I say the words. No, it's simply an admission that I was already broken.
ふりをするのが得意なだけ。本気でそう思ってくれてるなら言っとくけど、私だって自分が何してるかなんて分かってない。ただ配られた手札でどうにかしてるだけ。フラッシュのこともあれば降りることもある。
Her voice is so similar to Yes's. Her smile is no less honest, just as she is in everything she does, but it's no more reassuring. I don't hate Shino. I don't think I ever have. Rather, I admire her. She enjoys even menial work, never minds her prosthetics, and adapted just fine to a job that's clearly ill-fitting for her. The air becomes a little awkward as I fall silent. I didn't have a particular goal in mind when bringing up such a topic. Shino's left twisting in the wind about how close she really is to me. Seeing no way out of the subject and already regretting bringing it up, I take to my feet and make to leave as I slide the book into my bag and sling my coat over my shoulders.
変なことを聞いてごめんなさい。深い意味はないの。今日中に済ませたい用事があるから帰るね。気にしてないよ。じゃあね、ほのかちゃん。また。
It feels weird to have her address me by name. Already feeling restless from anxiety, I quickly shuffle myself out. As I glance back on the way out the door, I notice Shino already playing with her phone. My existence to her, too, will be nothing but a fleeting moment. Are you sure? Oh! Voices echo about the cramped university washroom as freezing water washes over my hands, two women chattering beside me. Out of habit, I eavesdrop on a conversation while subtly looking under my brow at their reflection. Both are students by the looks of them, the three of us probably the only ones left on campus by now. As if it weren't already obvious by their trendy jackets, jewelry, and dresses, they gossip about the dates they each have planned for the evening. One talks the other up to losing their... It's a certain gaiety to their voices, both chattering like giddy schoolgirls. I've seen so many romance movies, read of it in books, and seen innumerable posts about it on people's feeds. Romance was something wonderful and fluffy, sometimes fiery and passionate, other times warm and comforting. Surrounded by the cold concrete of the washroom, I wonder why I can't make myself feel like that. With all the money I could need to buy fancy clothes, all I have to my name are hoodies and old sweaters. Just as soon as I said, styles and fashions change slowly, becoming unfamiliar. It's only normal. It's me who isn't. The world keeps changing, but I can't keep up. Frozen in time, I can only watch others live their lives so effortlessly. Oh! As I watch them, one of the women catches my gaze. My heart skips a beat and I quickly shift my eyes downward, but I catch a familiar reflex in her expression as I do, and then easiness as the creepy person before her. She quickly suggests, why do I have so much trouble with that word lately? Suggests they leave, her friend following as she shuffles out the door. The door had just shut with a metallic thud, and I'm alone once more. That's a really cool CG, but also holy hell. With my hands soaking wet by now, I finally turn off the tap and look forward. The bags under my eyes are worse than I've ever been, and my skin is ghostly pale. I must look like some malevolent spirit rather than a university student. Perhaps I should go home. There's nobody there for me, though. I could go downtown and drift amid the sea of strangers for a time. That's pointless, just filled with shops hawking goods I don't need. There's nowhere for me. The only place, the only person I belong to. Body stops me from visiting. I'm alone in this concrete box. I simply stare, unable to move. My feet feel like anchors. Perhaps it's from anemia, or just wanting to avoid being seen by others. My heart begins to race, adrenaline suddenly pouring through my body, but it has nowhere to go. A sense of panic wells up inside as I stare at the image in the mirror. The person in the mirror is disgusting. The coward who can tell Yeso about her own sister. The magic is a hollow mimic of the real thing. What would others think of the shameful habit, the resulting scars so barely hidden under their sleeves? Their own appearance creeps this out. They can't cook for themselves, their interests are weird, and they can't keep a single friend. I don't like them. Why is my love so different? Why can others live so easily? Why am I always so tired? Eee. You should get your thyroid checked out. In one shot of the train, that unknown person died. Nobody knew nor cared as they buried themselves in their phones. Once the blue tarpaulin was draped over them, they ceased to exist. It was as if they never existed in the first place. For me too, would it be so bad if this paralyzed soul ceased to exist in this world? Aw, girl. The house lies cold, having turned off the heating. The bathroom and kitchen taps are still, checked again for any dripping. The bed lies carefully set, crisp and neat as ever. Standing in the living room after my last round of checks, I'm confident that nothing will present a problem for those who come after. How odd it is to be so particular about such unnecessary things. I suppose it's only natural after a lifetime of being told not to be a pain for others. I take one last look around the room, engraving it on my memory. Everything from the immaculately swept hardwood floors to the carefully wiped low table, Dunia having flaked off a corner. My life completely changed, but the house never did. In the end, a human life is no different than magic. Once you let go of the rock, it simply drops. Don't do what I think you're about to do. Now it's time for me to finally let go. Fearful of letting hesitation build, I turn and make the walk up the stairs to my study. What a mess this room is in comparison. Assorted notes lie strewn around the book in the desk center, still open to the pages on transference. The floor is tarnished, wine-dark stains punctuated with dusty remnants of chalk circles and clips. Stepping over the mess, I come to the desk. Taking a moment to clean what I can of this room as well, I pull open my drawer and place my laptop inside, followed by the paper reminders and bookmarks. Little need for them after this. My last job is done. I put my fingers to the book's pages. These words started it all, and will now serve to end it all. Taking the chalk from beside it, I crouch and begin to carefully draw the intricate lines. The tapping of chalk on wood is almost rhythmic, echoing about a small study as if on a classroom's blackboard. After a few minutes' work, I write myself and replace the chalk on my desk. Taking my knife in hand, I idly wonder how many times I've done this ritual. How many times a simple act of seeing someone I love took so much from me. I suppose it hardly matters now. I take a breath to steady myself and bring the blade to my arm. To give myself one final moment to back down, I take one last look around me. This house has seen the laughter of my friends during visits and the chat of mom and dad as I return from school. Birthday parties heard throughout the rooms and get-togethers with relatives bring in their gossip and stories. That's gone now. All that's here is me. Me and this horrible unending silence. Silence which became too much to bear. Gritting my teeth, I forced myself to slash the knife across my skin. Stifling my yelp of pain, I watched the warm blood trickling down my wounded arm. For all Yasuo talks of her precious memories keeping her going, mine have only given me pain. Pain which will no longer be mine to bear as I crouch and carefully trace out the marks above me. Coming to my feet, I already feel the magic taking hold earlier than it ever has before. Perhaps in my last moments, I finally found the true strength of my hollow magic. Practice makes perfect, I think to myself in dark amusement. My heart races as the full realization of what I'm doing creeps up on me, but it's all too late. Fate sealed, I look out the window one final time. My last view of the walls of the bare branches of nearby trees faintly peering out from the forlorn winter's fog. Then it's gone. Oh! Act 2, Scene 1. The tithe one must pay. Terrible chill hangs in the air, the season proving bitter as it so often is here. On this cold day, a great throng of students slowly shuffles through the piled snow of the university grounds. The day's lecture is finally over. Some gossip freely with friends, while others fawn over their partners. Most, however, stroll silently. Amidst a sea of people walks one unremarkable student among many. Honoka Asakawa, at 20 years old, she's a humanities student in her third year here. Academically talented to say the least, she passed her entrance exams for Hokkaido University with flying colors and haven't saved in a while. With no friends to speak of, no classmates she keeps contact with, she cuts a solitary figure amidst the crowd as she walks to the station. Turning back from watching that reclusive woman from the library window, I turn to my new co-workers in discontent.
こんなやり口であの子を操るのは気が進まないな。
ほのかは操らないと決めただろう。依頼人の要望ははっきりしている。私たちが動くのは依頼人の指示があったとき。普段は監視するだけだ。
Excuse me? Rhoda's in no better mood about this than I am. Her annoyance boiling over as she pushes herself off the table she was leaning on.
わかんねえな。なんでそんなコソコソするんだよ。 さっさとあの子と本を確保して終わらせりゃいいのに。
依頼人が。
わかったわかったって。でも何週間もじっとしてんのは性に合わねえな。
曖昧な仕事だからな。抵抗を覚えるのも仕方ない。これまでにもっとひどい仕事もあっただろ
う。まあちゃんと報酬払ってもらえんなら文句はねえけどさ。
So despite she scolded the rebellion, Tatiana turns back to me.
本当に任せて大丈夫か。探偵になったばかりだろう。
The only private detective agency run on the side of a bar in Vega. Vega? Or the only bar run on the side of a detective agency. I'm still not sure which. Koda and Tatiana have been in this game together a while. Years by now. I can say I've ever tried being a private detective myself, nor played a librarian. But I'll try anything once. It's not like I don't have time.
大丈夫だよ。司書の仕事ならいい気分転換にもなるし。でもさ、なんで私に白羽の矢が立ったの？
時間のあるものが必要だった。となれば私は対象外だ。静かにしていられるものが必要だった。薫も対象外だ。
ちょっと。
I give a smile to the two of them before looking out the window. I suppose there are worse places to be working during a harsh winter.
悪口が終わったみたいだからもう行くよ。気楽にやりなよ、シノ。
She gives a brief wave, which I return before she saunters out. Tatiana moves to follow her, but pauses for a few moments.
何？
頼んだぞ。何かあったら連絡をくれ。
わかった。
That was clearly not what she wanted to say. Knowing Tatiana, I wouldn't get a straight answer if I tried. With that, Tatiana's flowing coat swings about her as she turns on her heel. It's amusing to contrast her with Kodo as she follows her out, every movement she makes feeling thoughtlessly imposing. Now alone with my thoughts, I look over the library and take stock of my situation. This will be my second home for the next few weeks or months, for all we know. I must admit it feels a little lonely here, something not helped by the faint noise of students and staff outside. Pushing such thoughts aside with a hearty snort, I roll up my sleeves and get started on stocking books. This might just be a means to get close to Honoka, but that doesn't mean I can't do this job right. A detective agency? What? Act 2, Scene 2, a careful distance. What are we detectiving about? Investigating is the word I'm searching for. The first few days of working here have been quite an experience. There are two main libraries on campus, called North and Central, plus a scattering of more specialized branches. This being the Central Library, it receives the bulk of the traffic. I'd initially thought the library lavish, but the hustle and bustle of students and researchers during the day makes it clear the university gets its money worth from it. I never thought being a librarian would be so stressful. The day's rush only makes the serenity of the evenings all the more poignant. At least I have times like this to recover. The large and well-stocked library, awash in a glow of sunset, now stands empty save for me and one. Honoka sits at one of the tables reading quietly as I stack a box of returned books. The previous librarian had left a note that she often used the library to study after hours. Why Honoka started doing this was left unsaid, but it didn't take long to work out. As always, she didn't bother with small talk before getting to studying. I expected her to be quiet, but not outright avoidant. I'm sure she'd be a hermit if not for lecturers dragging her. Despite keeping my ear to the ground, I haven't picked up on any rumors about her or anything being spoken of Honoka at all. She's practically a shadow in any group she walks among and keeps to herself in classes. I wonder if she realizes that she sticks out all the more for my efforts to go unnoticed. No.
もっと早くに言っとくべきだったよね。付き合ってくれてありがとう。
Her head jerks upwards in surprise. Honoka's face shows little, but her jitters make me worried something's happened to her.
私こそ長居させてくれてありがとう。
At least she's not completely blowing me off. It's probably as close to an invitation to chat as I'm going to get, so I drop my current book in the box and walk over. Ah, so this scene, but from the other side. I take a chair and spin it about, taking a seat sideways. These chairs are more comfortable this way around. She looks a little nonplussed for being practically forced into this, but I don't have much choice if I want to get closer to her. I find it's often the quietest people who lead the most interesting lives. Case in point, my eyes fall to the book in her hands. She's been reading that one for a while, but reading the Italian title is admittedly beyond me.
イタリア語を読めるの？すごいじゃん。私も言語はいくつか知ってるよ。世界とつながってるって感じがするよね。そうかも。私は単位のためだけど。
The discussion's rudely interrupted by a ping coming from my jacket pocket. Before I realize I've done so, I've plucked the phone out and have it in front of my face. It's a text from Tatiana. I found Honoka's social media if you want to see, with the link afterwards. Ensuring Honoka has no way to see my screen, I decide to quickly check it out. No followers. The last post is from a few years back too. There's some posts from friends in high school, but that stopped back then too. It's a little weird to so clearly see the stages of her life, down to when her group of friends graduated and went their separate ways. This explains why she's so withdrawn. She had nobody to lean on for support after her parents passed. That just means I'll have to be the one to open conversations between us. Acutely aware that I'm browsing Honoka's life while she's right in front of me, I reply to Tatiana with a quick thanks before locking the phone once more.
こういうのって本当にすごいよね。一昔前はただのチャットスペースだったのに、今じゃサイバースペース全部がポケットの中に収まるんだもん。世界中の誰とでも簡単につながれるし、図書館の蔵書も丸ごと収容できちゃう。
Maybe that segue didn't work as well as I'd hoped going by her expression.
あれ、なんか変なこと言ったかな？別に。ただ、最近はみんなスマホに慣れてると思ってたから。
I slide my phone back into my pocket and take to my feet. It's probably for the best if I don't try to get close to her too quickly anyway.
ああ、それは、なんていうか。私はほら、田舎育ちだから、こういうのを使うようになったのって、つい最近のことでさ。コンピューターとかスマホとか、まだ慣れてなくて。
That'll work. It's not like I'm lying to her, technically.
じゃあ、どうして都会に来たの？一言で言えば、冒険かな。いろんな仕事を転々として、その時々に興味があることをやってる。ここの仕事も次が見つかるまでのつなぎってこと？どれくらいいるの？
I give a simple shrug. That's as much dependent on her as it is me.
飽きるまでかな。それって大変じゃない？別に心のありようさえずれてなければ生きるのはぐんと楽になるよ。これだって思える生き方があればいいよね。私はいつもどんなちっぽけなことでも正しい形にできたらなって思ってる。軸さえぶれなきゃ目の前で起きてることもあんまり気にならなくなるんじゃないかな。
She thinks to herself for a moment afterwards. Maybe I found the first crack in all her worries that I can help her through.
魔術師のこと何か知ってる？急に話題が変わったね。ついこの前、医者をやってる魔術師の記事を読んだの。それでちょっと気になって。
Of all the topics to raise, I should have known that subject was coming, but I still have to work to not show it.
気になる存在ではあるよね。珍しいから、
Yeah,
実際に魔術を使っているところなんてなかなかお目にかかれないし。それもそうだけど、全く違う人生を歩んできた人がすぐそばにいるのに、誰もそれに気づかないって不思議だなって、そう思わない？
Thinking fast, I work out a misdirection.
平均的な魔術師は普通の人とあまり変わらない。なのに魔術に不信感を持たれちゃうのは残念だよね。この町の魔術師は目立たないようにしてるみたいだけど。それに力の強い魔術師となれば話は別じゃない？ヨーロッパだともっと堂々と暮らしてるみたいだし、古くから続く血統の魔術師は城を持ってることもある。
One second.
自然の法則を破れるなら政府が手出しできる相手じゃないしね。
Package. Package.
だからこそみんな魔術師に対して慎重になるんだろうね。異質なものを恐れるのは人の常だもん。
I think I managed to hide my relief as she ponders what I've said. At least she doesn't seem to think too badly of mages in general, which is more than can be said for many. Our talk has apparently ended as she gets up from her seat and slides the book she's been reading into her messenger bag.
もう帰るの？疲れすぎないうちに帰らなきゃ。今日も長居させてくれてありがとう。いつでも大歓迎。広い図書館で一人きり、延々と本を片付け続けるだけなんて寂しいもん。寂しいもん。
With that, she gives a nod and farewell before shuffling out of the library. It's surprising how noticeably her demeanor shifts when she starts to go, closing off from the world once more as she leaves. Oh. I try to focus on finishing up my work for the day, but the image sticks in my mind like grit between teeth. I wonder what Honoka would be like if I'd met her before her loss. To be fair, you probably wouldn't have met. That's the entire thing, no? One advantage of working at the university is the easy access to a nearby station, with a short train ride practically dropping me off in front of Tatiana's downtown bar. After the now familiar elevator ride, it's only a few steps to go in. Haha, I know that logo. Ooh. Smell of various alcohols just faintly hangs in the air. Dim lights play on the immaculately polished counter, and inviting bottles of liquors and spirits gleam behind it in all colors of the rainbow. It's instantly relaxing, just as intended. In so many ways, this is Tatiana's slice of the world. Everything is in its place and polished to perfection. Perfect stage for any customer wanting to relax with a touch of colors. Then there's Kodo. Sitting at a table in the otherwise empty bar, before her lie various small tools, brushes, screwdrivers, a little bottle of oil, and a couple dozen mechanical components. I recognize what she's fiddling with from even a casual glance, waiting until she finishes applying some oil before interrupting her.
テーブルで銃を分解している人がいるバーって珍しい
I
わ
was
ね。
about to say, there's only so many things she could be disassembling. I'm assuming it's a gun. Hello?
こういう道具はちゃんと手入れしてやればいざって時に応えてくれるものさ。定期的な掃除と点検は基本だよ。
Koda keeps working away as she talks, now inspecting a tiny spring. Interested in what she's doing, I take a seat opposite her while being careful not to touch anything.
A gun! その拳銃本物じゃないよね。
A gun!
エアガンかって意味なら違うよ。
本当にいるの？
私だって欲しくて用意したんじゃねえよ。こんなジャンクもののマカロフでも闇市場じゃ目玉が吹っ飛ぶような価格なんだから。
And yet you still have it.
つっても文句は言えねえか。調査にしくってこいつに何度も命を救われてきたわけです。
Oh, you're not a mage. Okay.
私みたいな一般人が魔術師の相手するからには念には念を入れなきゃ。
Interesting. It's a fascinating piece of engineering, regardless of its purpose. She begins to put it back together piece by piece, starting from the smaller springs and cylinders and progressing towards more recognizable parts of the frame.
そもそもどうやってそんなものを手に入れたのよ。
I know I've learned a few of Koda's tells. Not a hard task for someone who wears their emotions on their sleeves. One I've come to be amused by is the particular sparkle in her eyes as she begins lecturing on this fact of life or that. I wonder if she enjoys my company for the sake of simply having someone to share her knowledge with.
だいたいこの手のものの出所といえばロシア軍だね。指揮官や受給係が徴兵用の倉庫からちょっとずつくすねてくんの。旧ソ連の安物から今のロシアの最新兵器までいろんなものをね。
I like how in Japanese you say Russian. Russian. I don't know, I just like the sound of it. It sounds fun.
それを密輸業者が駐屯地や倉庫で買い取って東ロシアから稚内北部まで運ぶ。 稚内までは船で4時間くらいで、天気がいいと海岸からロシアが見えるらしいよ。で、日本に持ち込めたら仲介人ってやつを見つけて、そこから買えばいい。ざっとこういう流れだね。
えらくあっさり言うんだね。
映画じゃもっと派手で危険なミッションに見えるよな。でも実際は地味なもんさ。金を払って車のトランクからトランクへ移すだけだもん。中古の家具を買う方がよっぽど面倒。
And thank you for the Irish time. And the pat. She picks up the inside of the barrel and begins to clean it with a small brush. She's not the most gentle of people, yet shows such care in handling the precise and intricate pieces. Not the noodly nags again. Before continuing on, she gives it a quick blowout before closing an eye and peering down the cylinder.
そりゃあアメリカで売られてるような最高級品とは物が違うけど、弾はどこ製なんて気にしねえしな。
Very true. With that, she slides it into its spring and completes the mechanism for the rack. At least, I think that's what it's called. It's strange. A few more at ease lounging about watching Kodo putting together a weapon than I'm at the library. Then again, this isn't the first time I've been around such things. Is the library the first time you've been around books, though? Huh? As the door swings open, the two of us give a casual glance to the tall figure, which steps through. This must be the first time I've seen Tatiana late for anything.
あれ？遅いじゃん。渋滞し
雪道でスピードを出しすぎたバカがまた事故を起こした。
Oh no!
誰ともご苦労。
She gives a casual glance at us before continuing on her way behind the counter, entirely unbothered by the weaponless Kodo who slowly reassembles it. Welcome back!
カオル、カクテル作りの講座を受けるよう覚えておけ。安い講座を見つけた。せっかくだし、お前もバーで働くといい。
何それ？前にカクテル作ってやったじゃん。
Mixology!
そうとも。だからこそ講座を受けさせる。
Oh! All Kaoru can do is grimace as Tatiana walks into a back room. As she looks to me for backup, I just shrug. It isn't long before Tatiana re-emerges after hanging up her coat, her tinkering companion having returned to fastening the screw in the back of the grip. Which V2 is going to return to the Elder Shaman. Well, I mean, these are gonna come up like one after the other. Kai. Like this, they're gonna come up one after the other, not at the same time. Well, to be fair, the automation of it doesn't work any longer anyway, so I can actually give them to you. Hold on. Yeah, fine. One second. I cannot give you the vampire though. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no vampires here.
客に見られる前におもちゃを片付けろ。警察に嗅ぎ回られるのはごめんだ。
How are you? Fangies do not equal being a vampire though. I'm hungry though, so. We haven't had a stream where I'm actually eating in a while, huh?
大丈夫だって。まだ誰も来ねえよ。
Whoops. The sound of the door swinging open makes both our hearts skip a beat. Kodo scooping the pistol into the small of her back in an astonishingly quick move. Thankfully, the tired-looking salaryman doesn't notice the gun disappearing behind her parka as she takes a seat at the bar.
すみません。営業前で迷惑かな。
サラリーマン。
いいえ、とんでもない。今日は何になさいますか？
You would have two nickels. Wait, who? Huh? Who's the other one? What do you mean? Hunched over as much in annoyance as recovering from the surprise, Kaoru is left to quietly simmer.
タチアナに正論言われるとなんかムカつく。
Oh. Okay. I was about to say, I'd like to keep going until we finish the scene. But if that is the end of the scene, I would like to take that moment then. And stop here. Because that way I can eat my food in peace. What the heck, did you get a nickel? That's fair, yeah. I do have 5 cents lying next to me because they fell out of a pocket. And I keep forgetting to put them back in my wallet. I'm like, why do I have 5 cents here? Why is that a thing? But there they are. Yeah, let me just say we're gonna stop here for now. You know, nya. You know, like nya. Nya. This is fun. So, the first act is over, and we don't really know what exactly is happening. Like, we can think, can imagine what exactly her goal is, but we won't see it for quite a while longer, what she's done, because we now have this character change. But it's gonna be fun. Hell yeah. I love this. For real though, this game is a lot of fun. Also, since the release week is already done for, I am now allowed to stream the entire game. Thank you for the pat. Did that work? Actually, I didn't see it. We're gonna keep at it. We're gonna get back to Tithe and that hopefully soon. As in, I'm hoping to just stream more often in general. I'm gonna stay strong. For now though, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna send you guys over to Haru, who's drawing. Thank you, Vanessa. No, thank you for coming. This was a completely different time than when I usually stream, but I mean, I might as well. It's not like I have a job right now. I'm quite literally unemployed. Why the hell not? Everyone say hi to Haru. Have a good day. Thank you so much for coming by. I'll see you all soon. I was trying to say goodnight, but it's not night yet anyway. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.